Welcome to today's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have returning guest and fan favorite and a cool dude and a friend of mine, Hack Tony Covington himself from Hack's Horror Show. You might have seen him on TV in the ring. You don't know where you've seen him, but you've probably seen him somewhere.
Yeah. What?
I got an advanced screener to a movie, and then here you are. You pop up at the end. And it was,
yeah.
I was like, fucking Hack's on the end of this damn.
This son of a bitch.
Fucking everywhere.
Dude. Fuck, what an intro.
Yeah.
You said fucking fan favorite. Let's not start this podcast off by lying to everybody.
I've had people tell me, because I've done intros for wrestlers, and they're like, I need you to come do my intro when I wrestle.
Dude, you made me sound so badass. Most people are like, it's Hack, Tony, right? It's Anthony. I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm like, I don't know how to do this show now. And they're like, so what made you want to get into doing the whole the podcast? I'm like, I just wanted to do a bunch of cocaine and figured it was a great way to meet women. Like, I completely start doing the interview as Hack. Like, I just wanted to hurt people.
It's like, I have people who's like, well, you're the captain. I was like, well, yeah, what are you captain of? I was like, I ain't captain of shit. I'm like Captain Crunch.
Yeah, dude. She told me Captain Cartoon, dog.
Captain Cartoon is who I am. And it's so funny that is caught on, that's a thing now. And I've got it out now that I tell people, because I always call my basement the lair. I was like, but I don't like the lair. I need to rename it. And I've had people like, well, you call it Captain's Cove or the Cartoon, cave or whatever. And I was like, I like the comic cave, because I got more comic books than I probably got anything else down here.
Dude,
it's
dude, you're looking good, man. You're looking good. The beard is getting so much fucking longer.
No, it's long as shit and gray as fuck.
No, dude, it's all turning gray. It's all fucking.
See, I wish this shit would have went gray first before it fell out.
Dude, yeah, well, now I'm like, now the beard, and everybody's like, why don't you do a beard like everybody else? I'm like, because I'm Irish as shit, so it's just all red and gray. I'm like, it looks like, like it's all red and gray. It's not a good look for Hack, so.
Well, my dad had a red beard, still does. Well, mostly gray. I mean, it's mostly gray, but it was red when I was a kid. And I didn't want a red beard when I was a kid. And then what do I have? My son Joe has a bright red beard.
Yeah.
Because his mom's redhead. My dad had red hair. I used to, in the summertime, when I had hair, it would get a reddish tint to it because it was in my genes. And now he's just, he's got bright red, but he looks just like me. So I'm like, fuck it. But he's got a red beard.
Dude, you see the family portrait of like all my uncles and my grandmother, and you just see all these fucking redheaded people, like all of them except my mother sitting there, the youngest one with this blonde hair, just surrounded by all these redheaded people.
Well, it's funny because we get the picture of all of us together. My oldest son is adopted, so but he looks like he is related to us, which people are like, well, you sure? I'm like, yeah, we know he's not ours. but then we got my son Brandon with his blonde hair and blue eyes, and which I had blonde hair when I was little, and his kind of went that dirty blonde as he got older, and his mom's got blue eyes. Then we get Joe, who has red hair and brown eyes, like red hair like his mom. Then we have Vince, who has red hair, but he has red hair, and he has brown eyes like me.
Nice.
So good mix of all of us, yeah.
Dude, nice.
Yeah.
I wanted that. I wanted when I did the DNA test, because I was like, man, I'm pretty diverse, dude. Like, all my friends, like, I have so many, and I'm blessed to have so many, and they're all different types of people from all different types of life. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't hang out with like a normal set group. I meet people. Like, I met you, and I'm like, hey, I fucking like this guy's pretty damn cool.
Hell yeah. So dude, I wish we lived closer, because we'd fucking hang out all the time.
Same. It was like, well, Cincinnati, I was like, dude, I just sit with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to fucking go. What is that guy wearing? I don't want to sit next to him. I don't
See,
know what's going on.
that's what everybody asked me. Like, you wear your gimmick? I'm like, no,
This is it,
this is my gimmick, man. I was like, I can bring my. Hold on a second. There's my, there's my robe.
dude. The fucking dude. Yeah, yeah. People were like, how do you get in that mindset of hack? I'm like, oh, I just start acting like a dick and I wear a jacket.
Well,
That's it. That's the gimmick. That's the
I,
whole
I
thing.
it, it's so funny because I get people, and I don't really. I guess I don't really have a gimmick. I mean, me, it's just me. Captain Cartoon is just me, maybe turned up a little bit, but I don't really have a gimmick. And I got people like, man, I love your show and stuff because you're like a really real person. I'm like, as opposed to not a real person. I'm not AI.
As opposed to what?
I was like, yeah, because my son Vince comes in, hangs out sometimes during the show, and he like waves and talks to everybody and stuff like because he loves it. Vince with his autism, I freaking love having him come in. He loves it. People love when he comes on. They're like, Vince, hey, and I get all these
Yes.
in the stream and loves it. He loves it too because he makes him feel really good. And I'm like, they're like, man, you're such a good dad. I'm like, I feel like I'm just a dad. I
Yeah.
love my kids,
Yes.
man. My kids are my life, and I got a great wife. I got a great family. I got a great bunch of friends, and I was like, yeah, I'm I hate to say this, I'm I'm I just me most of the time. Very rarely. I if you see me in a bad mood, I don't record. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah. It's like I'm just not gonna do a show.
I've done one show. One show. I did the entire show, and I'm not going to throw the guest underneath the bus. The guest wasn't good. I wasn't good. Everything was shit that day. I deleted it. I'm like, this. I don't want people to see me having that bad of a day.
Was
I don't.
that my first time on the show?
No, that was somebody else. But yeah, I'm like, fuck, man. I was like, I don't. You know, I don't hide nothing from nobody. I don't want to be one of the people that they come back. You won't believe what this YouTuber did. I'm like,
Oh,
dude, dude,
dude,
dude.
yes,
I
I'm
talk
with
about
you.
the fact that I was an alcoholic. I talk about the fact that I got sober. But I'm not gonna lie, I do edibles now, but that's just to help me
Me
sleep and to
too.
mellow out, to kind of because it's the only thing that levels me out.
For, for all the people out there listening and watching, Hack and Captain Cartoon are kindred spirits.
Yeah,
We are yin and yang because I had to quit drinking and give up the drinking, which I still have a drink now. But now I can. I've gotten to the point in life where I can absolutely handle that. I can be at a dinner party or be in a social setting, and somebody's like, "Oh, Hack, would you like a glass of wine or would you like a beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'll have one." And I can have the one and stop it before it turns into something else. Now the edibles, I never ever ever smoked anything because it had the opposite effect. I'm a happy go friendly person, and people are like, "Man, Hack, you're a great guy." And I'm like, "I'm really not. I'm really just don't care." Like your bullshit over there seems so insufficient and don't fucking matter that I just don't give a fuck to react to it, good or bad. Like I'm just like I don't care what's on TV? And they're like, oh, such and such just burned this down. I'm like, I don't really give a shit about that place or that he set it on fire. And like, goddamn, I wonder how fucking Paul's doing. Like, I'm a text him. Like, that's normally how I feel.
every once in a while, that's one thing I can.
Uh,
You and one other guy, man, I can just randomly text, man.
yeah.
We'll have a fucking conversation for hours, out of the blue. Haven't talked to you for months, man. Next thing you know, I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? It's like,
Yeah, time it never goes away. But the edibles, I can't smoke pot. I can't smoke it. It triggers and makes me angry. I can smoke a joint. The next thing you know, I'm in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck are all y'all laughing about? And they're like, we're just having a good time, dude. We're just getting stoned. I'm like, no, you're laughing at me. What am I, a fucking clown? I'm like Joe Pesci and fucking Goodfellas, fucking pulling out a gun. I'm like, I'll kill everybody in here. It's like, damn, I got. But if I metabolize it, dude, like if I eat it, now it's like, dude, I had a bite before we got on the show.
well, it's funny because we went up, we used to go up to Michigan, and my buddy's like, "Hey," he goes, "Have you tried edibles?" Because I smoked nothing. I never got nothing. And then he gave me a pack of Skittles, and I ate the Skittles, and I'm like, nothing. I'm like, damn. Because he's like, man, you want to do like two? Like I did two, nothing. Did two more, nothing. Finally, I'm like, fuck it. I ate the fucking nothing. So he's like, okay, okay, okay. We'll try something else. So we go up there and he goes, pick one thing off the wall. I'll get it for you and you can try it out.
Damn.
So I get this edible, these gummies, and he goes, we'll do about half of one. So I'm like, all right, I cut that fucker in half. I eat it. 2 hours later, nothing. I'm mad. I'm like, fuck, I ate a whole one. About another hour, nothing. So like this. I grabbed the other half that I cut off, ate that.
Oh
Two of
shit.
it. And then about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, it starts to hit. And all it felt like was I compare it to a warm blanket. I call it the warm blanket feeling. I was sitting on
Yeah.
the couch, all chilling out. I'm reading a book, and I'm like, oh, because it just felt like somebody took a warm blanket and put it over. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, this is what it feels like. My brain's like,
Bro.
oh, fucking A. So and then I get up the next day and I'm like, oh, I don't feel right. I go in and take my shower and I still don't feel right. I eat nothing. I'm like, I go to my
Yeah.
wife, I'm like, I think I fucked up. And she's like, what's the matter? It's like, I think I'm still high. And
Yeah.
she starts laughing at me. And the worst part about it is I end up getting a really bad cold. So I can't hardly talk. So I'm talking like this. And I can't, and I'm like, I'm gonna think about it. And I was like, God dang. And finally it wore off and everything. But man, and I've never been that bad again. But I know what I can eat. It gets me, and I'm gonna lie, I don't care if I ever get high, but I can sleep at night. And I used to never sleep at night. I'd be up, and
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating when I tell people I'm up 20, 30 times a night. And now I get up once, maybe twice. And I'm
Same.
like, I'm good. I feel good. It relaxes me. I'm not fucking, I don't get grumpy and shit like I used to. And my one buddy kept telling me, he's like, you're going to start doing it during the day. I'm like, nah, I don't do it till after 9 o'clock at night.
Yes.
I, yeah, I'm good. And
Same, brother.
yeah,
Same. You won't see me none during the day, nothing at that. At like 9:30 at night, but I'm like, oh, it's almost time for bed.
yep,
I have me a couple of gummies, dude. Are you talking about up there in Michigan, man? We was up there, and we're with the amazing fucking Briar Wellington, Richie boy up
yep,
there at Horse Slam. And he's like, "No, Bubba, it's all good here." And I'm like, "Whatever, dude. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, the
yeah,
Bible Belt, the
yep,
championship buckle, actually, of the Bible Belt. We have a church for every three people,
yep.
uh, like the most ever. So like our laws are way behind. Like people are like, "Man, Texas ain't moving." I'm like, "Have you been to Tennessee?"
Yes.
like we're waiting to caught up. There's a whole nother planet out there. It's called the rest of the fucking world. We ain't there yet. It's still like, is that in the Bible? And it's like, I don't think so. I think it's just an okay thing. No, 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 no. I don't want to hear it. So we're up there in Michigan, man, and we go to one of the dispensaries, and I'm seeing like billboards and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep.
And I'm used to buying weed behind a gas station, or like got to wait in a car all night long, and your brother's in there, and it's like, dude, he just left me. Like, fuck, what neighborhood are we in? When is he coming back out here to the car? And he finally gets back, and he's like, sorry, dude, you got to talk to dude in there. And there's a whole etiquette of how you had to buy the
Yep.
weed from a certain guy. You had to do all their weird rituals to get there. And now you just walk in there and there's a little girl at the counter in a polo shirt. She's like, "Hi, welcome to Weed World. Do you like indica sativa?" And I'm like, "Keep your fucking mouth down, bitch." Like, I know you're young, but shit, this ain't my first time. Like, I know how this goes. Shut up.
Oh,
She's like, "Oh, we got all this." It was like weed Walmart.
oh, yeah. The
And
first time I got to take my wife to, and I can tell you, Jars in Monroe, Michigan. And I rolled in there and she's just like, and I'm like,
yeah,
this,
that was
and the
my
girl comes up and she's like, my name's Stacy. I'll be your bud tender. And she's like,
shut up. Like, you're going to get us in trouble. Like,
It's so bad that we would go up there, and my one buddy would go. I would go up with him. That's how I started going up there. Then we went up there, and then we've gone up there a bunch. I haven't been up there for a while, so they probably I'd have to restart my you know. But I would go up there and I would talk to the manager. Manager was cool. Like one time we went up there to get something, and jackknife. Went to get some jackknife. The
Mm,
Kevin Nash, and he's like, "Oh, I ain't got none of that." But you guys are good. So I'm getting, and he ends up giving my one buddy like a Jars T-shirt,
nice.
and I got like a pack of gummies, and I'm like, hell yeah! Like, fuck
Yeah.
just because you're out, you gonna give me something else, whatever. Um, Although every time I go up there, I'm like, you got the Ric Flair? No, no Ric Flair. Yeah,
Oh, dude, that's good shit. That's good shit. The Ric Flair is the best, dude.
but I, I don't smoke though. I only do the edibles. But everybody tells me that the jackknife is better than the Ric Flair.
Well, dude, I don't know, man, because we was up there and it was with it was at a party, and Brad Cash is sitting there, and Brad Cash, he's a big scary deathmatch wrestler, but he don't really partake in nothing either. And he's like, dude, it's the Ric Flair. And he was telling me because he knew I was the only person at this party who wasn't going to smoke either. And I was like, it is the Ric Flair. He's like, should we do it? And I was like, yeah, we should do it. And we smoked this whole thing. And then I don't know where he said it. Mike's gonna watch this and figure out what happened to his Ric Flair fucking dabs now. Sorry, Gavins. I didn't steal it. It was somewhere at the house. I smoked a little with Brad, and then we set it down, and I ate your pizzas, dude. I did take all your pizzas. Sorry, sorry. Well, he knows that I fucking didn't cook it in the stove. I cut all the stove eyes on his glass top. And I set it on top and put one in the oven. I was really hungry, so I cooked them all at once. About burned the house down, but yeah, it was a good time, dude.
Where were you up? Where were you at in Michigan?
Oh fuck, let's see. Well, dude, Detroit is nice, but there's a place outside Detroit there called
Taylor, yeah, Taylor, yeah, yeah. We
Taylor,
have family up there.
Michigan. It is a beautiful place,
Hmm.
beautiful, wonderful place, and everybody in the South are like, "Oh, you hate it up north." I've been up north a lot, and every time I've been up there, I'm like, "I don't know, had a pretty good time with these guys."
My whole problem with that area is when it gets cold, it gets fucking cold.
Yeah, yeah, that I can't
That
handle the code,
oh
dude.
my
I
god, my
can't do it.
body hurts. We went up there for goddamn, might have been Horror Slam. And it was fucking cold, like bone jarringly. Like every time they'd open up the doors to go in and out,
So
everybody
close the
in
fucking door.
everybody's because you could see your breath. Like as soon as they open
Damn.
up the door, the cold air would hit so fast you could see your breath almost like that.
What was you in Victory Gym?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Dude,
Fucking
there's one of those tiles missing is because of fucking hit it. Like I didn't mean to knock out the ceiling. It's just right
every
there.
time we go there, somebody knocks one of them tiles out. Well, it's no longer a thing anymore because somebody sold the gym.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, we had to go to I was just up there a couple weeks back for Circle Six, and that was at Harpo's. Um, they went a town north. But then again, I heard I know Rhino is still running, was it IWR
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yep.
He was running that, and it was in Monroe, which the only thing I can think of is Victory Gym there. So, but yeah, Victory Gym. We went to the supposedly last wrestling show that they had there, which was I don't even know who ran it, but it was such a clusterfuck. It was
Oh
ridiculous.
god.
The ring didn't show up on time. Uh,
Oh god.
a lot of the wrestlers, like they booked wrestlers from Jersey, and they got there only to find out that this was not what they were signed up for.
No.
And they get all the way there, and it was such a weird thing. I think it would have worked if the guy would have had his shit together a little bit more. But it was supposed to be the last match was supposed to be a no rope barbed wire death match. So all the ropes were supposed to be taken down barbed wire. But between each um, match, they had a band play. So a band would play while they're cleaning the ring, doing all that shit.
Yep.
And they would be ready for the next one. Band would stop, go off. They had 3 bands. Each band played like 3 times. So they played in between the matches. And I'm like, that's a great idea. The guy didn't execute it well, but we had fun. But it was such a
Dude, that fucking dude. I take full credit for inventing, which I didn't. I didn't. The fucking rock and roll and wrestling mix up show, cause Total Psychopathic Wrestling, now Total Professional Wrestling. What we started down here in Tennessee with me and my brother there, which now my brother fully runs it. Actually, you're going to see a lot of the Total Professional Wrestling guys from Knoxville up in Horse Slam very soon. We like to do a lot of work with Horse Slam in Detroit. Well, a lot of our guys that go up there and work, a lot of them come down here at least twice a year. We try to do like a head-to-head show. Um, so be on the lookout for that coming up in April. Horse Slam will make us. Will be back here in Tennessee. All your favorite Horse Slam guys will be down here at TPW. But the TPW, it started. Man, I got the fucking videos. I got it on tape. I got time frames and stamps. I got archive footage from the TV station. The bands and fucking being at a wrestling show, like the band opens up the show and then the fucking show gets started, and at the end of it you got the live band performance, something
Mhm.
we still do today. We tried the in-between shit. Fans hated it. They're like, fuck, stop playing music, more violence. They're like, I didn't come here to listen to any fucking music. And then there's people who are like, I want to hear another song, that band was awesome. Then the crowd's out there fighting. Like the one wants your music. So we do it like at intermission. We always give a live performance from somebody. The past show was a rapper. Like we'll have rapper. We'll have like we had Z Train. We have the Barnyard Stompers. We had Jericho. We got Jay Luke coming down all the time. But we used to have bands. We used to have the shitty bands. Like it was the bands that I liked. So I would go get them and it'd be like making their way to the stage. It's like a Rat Store, and it's like what? And it's just a shitty garage band that's never played in front of anybody. And it's like, no, I like this kid. Listen to him on the guitar, man. He's got the best riffs I've ever fucking heard. Like I'm enjoying it. Nobody else is because you can't understand it, and this band has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And when the guitarist comes and he tries to talk to my wife, I come out of the ring, just burnt my hand all the shit, so my skin's melting off my hand, fucking bloody and everything. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I think we got the right lighting set up for here. And then this guy's still standing there with this beer, and I just turn at him and I look, and I'm like, can I fucking help you? Like, and he just runs away, and I'm like, who the fuck was that? She's like, nobody. What about the light? I was like, now listen. She's like, we need to wrap your hand up. I was like, we'll get to that in a minute. Did you see the light when it hit the fucking? It just really lit up the room. Like, so the music and the wrestling thing, dude. I started that shit, and now everybody's doing it. So if they thought of it originally, congratulations. But fuck them. I'm taking credit for that one. That was a hack idea.
Well, the thing is, though, I think that's their one and only show. So,
Oh.
but it was so funny in that show. I knew one of the girls in the last match, and they're wrestling. Her and Lindsay Snow. They chuck this dude into my lap because I'm one of the few people still sitting down because
Yeah.
fucking a, I'm setting my ass down. I get this
Yeah.
dude lands in my lap. It gets up, and I am from mid thigh to mid calf soaked through with blood. And I've told people this many times, but we're still. This is before it got legalized in Ohio, so we still have all that shit in the trunk of the car. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm going to fucking jail tonight. And my buddy starts laughing at me, and I was like, dude, we got drugs in the trunk, and I'm soaked in somebody else's blood. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
going to jail. I
How
gotta
do you
explain that
explain
when
that?
we get pulled over. He goes, dude, I'll tell him that the weed's mine. I'm like, I don't care. I'm covered in somebody else's blood.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be fun. Well, where you at? Deathmatch wrestling. Sure you were. Let's see.
Yeah.
I can show you the guy that landed on me. What?
Yeah.
I could get you video footage probably if I ask for it.
Dude, we've had the cops pull us over, and be like, "Well, what are you guys doing?" It's like, "Well, we're professional wrestlers." And he looks at me and he's like, "You're an athlete? Fuck off. What are you doing? What are you doing in this county, son?" And I'm like, I just told you." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm also a television host." And he's like, "Get fucking put your hands on the hood." It's like he's obviously fucked up. This guy's not on television. You're obviously not a fucking athlete. I'm like, "No, you don't get it." I hit him with and I stab him with shit. It's like, oh my God, what? It always goes bad talking to him. I got tickets. Dude, you're right. When you pull up and a cop sees, like, what happened to you? Were you in a car accident? No, no, wrestling show. What were you doing in the trunk? Oh, they were gonna kill me, and, and I had to get out of the building without them like trying to stab me in the parking lot because I ain't got time.
I was sitting there talking. I can't remember who we were talking to, but we were kind of just bullshitting around before a show, and we're sitting there talking about. I was like, he's like, man, he goes, we were all beat to shit, and we had to go to fucking. We all stopped at Waffle House on our way home, and he goes, we're all sitting there eating. Pretty soon the cop showed up because the people at Waffle House called thinking that we were like an
Yes,
accident or something. Because they're all sliced up. They're fucking all their
yes.
arms are wrapped up and bandaged and bleeding through everything.
Waffle House gets the worst of it. They always see the aftermath. And it's because Waffle House, it's your fucking fault. You're the only one open. Man, it used to be everything was open. We could go to Walmart and buy some new clothes and get something to change into or fucking wash off somewhere. But Waffle House, you got food and a bathroom. We're coming to you as soon as we get done. We'll clean the blood off later.
Man, well, during that one show, this one dude got busted open so good, man. You could see this. There's a puddle and then a line all the way around because they just took him behind a door and then
Yeah.
covered him up. And you can see perfectly just blood from the ring to, to the door, and then the puddle where he got cleaned up. Then we're sitting there. Do you know Gigi Jacobs?
Yes.
Yeah. Gigi
Yes.
was there, goes, look at my arm. He's got a gash like this
Yeah.
long and like that wide. Like, fuck, Gigi, fucking go get that. He's like, yeah, I got it stitched up, but it didn't get stitched up fast enough. And now I got like,
Yeah. Got to cut an artery in my arm and it's just spraying blood. And I wrapped it up and I'm like, well, we're going to the party, right? The after party. And they're like, no, you got to go to a hospital and you need stitches. I'm like, it's going to stop bleeding. And I was like, but it hasn't yet, but I know it will. I realized it was not going to stop
it was
bleeding.
not going to stop bleeding. That's an artery. That shit didn't bleed out. Oh, man. Well,
Dude,
it's,
it's so much fucking fun. Well, here's the worst part. If you get hurt at a death match show, it's not the actual injury. It's trying to survive all the assistance you're gonna get because everybody in the back turns into a doctor and you're bum rushed and you can't breathe. And there's people, oh, you got to do this, that, and the other. And like, dude, you got to hold them back. There's probably like 15 people done grabbed a hold of it and looked at it, no gloves on. Oh God, there's a fucking PlayStation controller in there. It's like, get it out. And they're like dumping alcohol, just no medical training. And the EMT, he's trying to get to you to give you actual medical treatment as soon as he can get all the other doctors off of you. So if you get hurt, run. Don't tell nobody, and go find the EMT, and he'll patch you up. But if you're like, oh fuck, I'm hurt, and they take you to the back, everybody bomb rushes you, and everybody gives their expert opinion on how to keep you alive. They don't do shit. They just get in the way of actual medical treatment.
we were at Rust Belt Pro, and this dude's sitting there, and he's sitting next to me, and he's like, is that my blood? I went, hold on. He wipes it off, and he goes, yeah, that's you, man. I go, hold
Yeah.
on. I go in the bathroom. I get a paper towel and hand sanitizer, and I go, here you go. And he's like, oh shit, all right. He cleans his fucking head off.
There you go, dude. See?
And he's just a dude, that we were like front row, and just a piece of glass, just a slight nick in his head. It just started bleeding like a bitch. So,
Damn.
and then
Oh, he's just a fan.
he was just a fan, yeah. Well, then my buddy looks at me and he goes, it was Satu was there, and he goes, watch Satu, dude bleeds like it's his job.
Yeah.
And he goes, he will get it on you. And I was like, nah. And all of a sudden I look down because he walks by. And when he walks by, it's like a fucking dog shaking, And I look down, I got blood splatter. I'm like, All he did was walk by. I was pissed. I had blood spatter.
Dude, I'll tell you something about the blood. A lot of people see me with the creepy little fucking show and everything, and they think, "Oh man, Hack's probably a sadist or anything." I'm actually not. I'm pretty fucking basic, standard fucking dad, normal guy. Like I don't like to see gore as much as anybody else fucking does, but I love it. I think it has a place in the world. My brother, however, is straight fucking Gen X, so he still loves the fucking shock and awe. He still wants to fucking scare people. He still wants, and he wears polo shirts and like FUBU shit. And you like you see him and you talk to him. He don't have anything creepy, nothing black or dark. The only dark thing about him is that he used to listen to like ICP back in the day. But like he's normal type dude. You would never think he's like this, but he's out there and he's like, we got a kid with one eye. And he's like, the fans don't know he's got one eye. I'm going to cut the fucking shit out of him, pull his eye out, make people believe I ripped his eye out. And fucking, I need you to really like sell it. So he goes out there and massacres the guy. The most blood I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's all over the ring and it's spraying out of his face, dude. Like, it looks like the biggest fucking CGI thing they've ever done. It looked, dude. This would make Sam Raimi and fucking them, all of them, just shit their pants. Like, dude, you gone too far. And I mean, this kid's bleeding all over the fucking ring. He throws him out of the ring, and he like moves his hand for a second. And there's so much blood, and he's like, ah, screaming and crawling ringside. The whole front row's covered. He's falling in his own blood, dude. It got so bad. I hit the ring. I hit the fucking ring, broke kayfabe. Everything's supposed to be the big bad evil Hack, and I'm trying to hold my brother back. I'm like, stop! You just killed a man in front of everybody. And he's like, you wanted this, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. He's like talking in tongues, and I'm pushing him in the locker room. As soon as we get in the back, he turns around, goes right back, and he's like, that was dope. Got him. Walks off, and I'm like, he's dead, by the way. The entire front row in the second row on the right side of the thing had to leave because they were drenched in blood. We had to get fucking chopped to a hospital because he's a skinny little fucking guy. So he done lost like almost all of his blood, like more than what keeps you alive. The son of a bitch was sitting there looking gray. Yeah, he looked gray. It's like, oh god, let's get him somewhere. but just that twisted thing, there was no weapons, there was nothing. He just pulled a man's eye out of his head and was going to let him bleed to death in front of everybody, and it's so gruesome. Dude, I'll find that fucking clip and send it to you. You just see my fat ass stop trying. I kept calling him by his real name and everything. I'm like, quit, dude.
Fuck this guy up.
Yeah,
one of the last shows we went for. God, this might have been Horror Slam. There was this guy, and he brought his girlfriend to the show. Front row.
Yeah.
The girl was freaking out the entire show. So everybody is watching this guy and his girlfriend. We're not watching the wrestling. I couldn't do the first fucking match. Yeah. And this guy, and he's holding his girlfriend like this. So her head's like in his chest, looking here. He's got a coat over her head. And she'd peek out every once in a while, like, and he's just kind of like, which, like I said, if you're going to don't bring him front row.
No.
Go back to that. So everybody would chant because, everybody would when people would bring gouging people's head, they're like, this side. No, we're like, that side. Side. So they would go over and do it in front of them. And they're like, she's just freaking the fuck out. And we're like, fuck that guy.
That's beautiful.
Oh, it was so good. And then we were like, that girl's going to have PTSD tomorrow.
Yes, she's never. Anytime she sees John Cena, dude, she's gonna have a trigger and fucking be like, "Oh God."
I've never seen him since, but I've only gone to a handful of shows up there since. But
dude, they ain't coming back. They ain't coming back. I'll tell you one thing, dude. Going up there, man, is one of like my favorite places to visit. One of my favorite places to go. I enjoy all those fucking people there. They seem to like me, and that's a plus.
It's so funny because, like I said, I was when that one show, I was like, "Brr!" was like, Tony wants to say hi. He's like, fuck Tony. Like,
Good.
yeah, hey, fucking, you better get up here.
Dude, I tell you, getting to like being a kid, you know, and like seeing like those guys and having your set of heroes. But you everybody gets that. You get like the first heroes, you know, those are the guys you really like. But then you start to hit those teen years and you find like your shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, this is my jam, man. This is the stuff that I really like. And he was one of them, dude. And as much as he's give back and as good as he's been to me, man, I can't thank him enough. I really can't. I mean, he was when Necro Butcher made his return to pro wrestling. Nobody's seen him. He hasn't wrestled. He hasn't kicked anybody's ass in a few years. And then, bam, there it is. It's like, everybody's like, T, you got to do it. You got to be the first. You gotta, get his feet back in the water. It's Necro Butcher. And holy shit, man! Like I tell Briar, and Briar just turns around, looks at me real fast. He's like, huh, fastest I ever seen him move ever. And he just looks at me and he's like, Bubba, no, you can't let him hit you. He can't be you out there. Like he was so concerned. He was like, you're not putting Hack out there with Necro Butcher. Like he didn't want me hurt. And I was like, no, I can handle it, dude. I'm still on the level. I'm cool. I can take the fucking shot, dude. It's gonna mean a lot to me. And he's like, no, no. And then he just grabs me like an old sensei and he gets real serious. He's like, put your fucking hand up. God damn, son, just get your hand up. Like you ain't gonna like he's gonna die in the war. Like, and I can only save the day if I get my arm up there. Like, it was real deep, and I just froze, and I'm like, I better get my fucking arm up there. So here comes Necro Butcher, dude, and he ain't done nothing. He's hitting himself with the chair.
Mhm.
First match back in wrestling, and somehow we got him down here to Tennessee before California and fucking XPW gets a hold of him. I was like, oh shit, I can't believe this is fucking happening. And I'm standing in the ring in this awe moment. Everybody just seen me get my ass kicked. Well, I went through the curtain, grabbed the referee's shirt, and come stumbling back through the curtain, saying I'm going to be the referee of this match for the sole purpose of Necro Butcher to knock me the fuck out. And I'm in this moment of awe, and I'm watching Necro Butcher come to the ring. I'm like, that's the fucking Necro Butcher, dude. Holy shit. Then I realized, oh, fuck. It's me. He's walking into the ring. Like, as soon as he gets in this ring, he's going to knock me the fuck out. And I know it's coming. But at the same time, I was like, this is so cool. And I got to say, dude, it didn't hurt at all because I was knocked completely the fuck out. Like, all I heard from this chair shot, because Necro Butcher, you see him and you don't really know how big a guy is until you're fucking standing beside him.
Yeah, he's
It was
tall.
like, yeah, I met Coco Beware, and I'm like an inch taller than Coco Beware, and
Mhm.
we're like the same size, and me and Kurt Angle were like the same size. And then I figured Necro Butcher wasn't gonna be that much bigger. Then he gets there and he's 6 foot fucking six, and he's 300 pounds, and he's as wide as a fucking linebacker, dude. He's this massive man. Uh, dude, he hit me so fucking hard. I got my arm up,
Mhm.
but I was just out. I threw the arm up. Luckily, if I didn't, dude, it would have killed me. Like, gave me a huge concussion. A lot of it, like not being on social media as much with Facebook, is because Facebook started driving me fucking crazy, and I'm having these problems with my memory. Necro Butcher took half those. Still got that chair though. Still got that side chair, baby.
Well,
So,
you know what's funny
uh,
about Necro is that he worked for my buddy's wrestling organization here in Dayton when he was
yeah,
not wrestling. One day we're sitting at a show and I'm like looking over, my buddy goes, fuck out the Necro. I'm like, the fuck? Because he's in a suit and his
yeah.
hair was all cut off at the time. No beard, just the like handlebar mustache. And
That's him now. He just has a little mustache, no
yeah.
beard.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, he's like, that's fucking Necro. And I go over and we talk to him and shit. And you're like, yeah, he's tall as fuck. Because you're like, I'm used to seeing him on fucking videos, and I'm like, he looks skinny. But when you
Yes.
see him, because he's tall, that even if he's skinny, he's still a big guy.
Yeah.
And big fucking gnarled up, knuckled up hands and shit like
Yes.
that. You're just like, damn. But yeah, he was a booker. Um match booker because he was producer, match producer for him for a while. He did some work for him, but it's like finding out what he was doing. And he was like just fucking bag boy at a grocery store. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the fuck does Necro Butcher go? I'm like, because he fucking smoked, he blew all of his money. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's like a lot of people, you think that money's going to be there forever, and then one day you wake up and it ain't there no more. So you're like,
Dude, it's so fucking true. It happens all the time, and a
mhm,
lot of the fucks get bitter about it. And I'm like, you can be mad about it, but just be mad at you. Don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at the people that like help you make the fucking money.
mhm,
Like we bought your fucking t-shirt, dude. We were supporting you. Like, what do you want us to do now? Like you ain't doing shit, so fuck off.
yeah,
Uh, I tell a lot, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna say it. I know it sounds bad. Everybody says the boomers were the greatest generation ever. Fuck that. Generation X were. Because look at it now. Look at everybody's like, oh yeah, they were like, oh look at these kids and all the shit they're doing. Look at our kids. Dude, my kids don't go to fucking parties and wreck cars and do all kinds of bad shit.
nope,
They're great kids.
oh
They're
yeah,
like everybody's like, oh, Hack's a fucking weirdo. I'm like, my kids are like way better people than you can imagine. Like they're looking at college. The one wants to join the army. They're like the best kids on the planet. And the cool thing about it is now all these what is it, Generation Z now that we're fucking on. These fucking little kids, they all love the same things I loved when I was a kid. So they brought it all back. So I'm tickled to death when I'm walking. I'm like, see this retro Marvel stuff. I see like the retro Turtle stuff and the Toxic Avenger toys back, and I'm like, yeah, you guys, I dig you guys.
oh yeah, dude. I get these kids that come in and they're like, I got at the shop. I got my wall of stuff. I got my Star Wars, GI Joe, He Man, shit like that,
Yeah,
and Transformers. And the kids that come in and buy that stuff, yeah, I get guys my age or older who buy the GI Joes and He Man shit. But then you get the
yeah,
kids that come in, you're just like, yeah, your parents did right.
yes,
And
dude.
that's the way it is with me, man. My son Joe is straight edge. My kid, he don't get into trouble. He don't drink.
Yes,
He don't party. He don't do none of that. My son Brandon is straight and narrow. My son Trevor, he was in the Navy, so he's got a little bit. He's still got some of
see,
that in him, but he doesn't. He goes out drinking every once in a while, but he don't go out and get in trouble. He don't party. He don't. I'm like, God damn. Everybody's like, it's funny because like I'm
see,
getting that age where everybody's like, you a grandpa yet? I'm like, no. I was like, none of my kids are like, they're not. They don't have girl after girl. They're not got like shit tons of kids. I got friends that have kids way younger than mine got grandkids now, and I'm like, all right, man. I was like, I don't want to be a
oh,
grandpa.
dude,
My wife wants
no,
to be a
no.
grandma. I don't want to be a
It,
grandpa. I'm
isn't
good.
that horrible though? Like when you think about it, dude. Like think about it. All the shit we do. Come on, man. You're fucking Captain Cartoon.
Yep,
I'm fucking Hack. We got the little TV show.
yep.
We're doing our thing. We're doing the fucking podcast now. And dude, it's hard. I take my kids with me, and I'm like, look, guys, look, Dad's in a movie, and they're like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm like,
That's my son Joe. He's like, there goes Dad again. I'm like, fuck it, I gotta talk.
yeah,
People ask me about shit. I tell people like I had to tell people the other day because people like they're like, can we come visit you at your store? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
yeah.
I was like, the
Buy
only
something
time,
while you're here.
yeah. I was like, dude, I was like, the only thing I ask people, and this is funny because I wrote this a couple years back before all this shit happened. But that was when Randy Orton, those people wouldn't leave him alone at the gym, and he
Yeah,
got pissy. But he's the video footage. He goes, "Hey, let me finish my workout. I'll take pictures and I'll say hi. But let me finish my
yeah,
workout." And then the people wouldn't stop fucking filming him, and that's when he loses shit. I was like, "Dude, I'm a nobody,
yeah,
and I get it because I have my store, and people would have to come up and talk to me, and I'm like, just wait till I'm done, or between machines, then fucking talk to me. But don't come up to me where I'm fucking working out." Because one thing is usually if I'm by myself, my earbuds are in, I can't hear a fucking word you're saying anyways.
yeah.
And I was like, give me a minute. And I posted that. Randy Orton's like, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, yeah, I get it. And that's why I tell people, it's like, man, you can run into me at the gym. Just wait till I'm done on the machine. And you can say hi to me all you want. I just make sure I go, what?
What I've done what I've done now is the fans run from me because I'm so I can communicate with anybody. Like I can talk to a fucking wall, dude, and I can talk to anybody. And I get in these weird mindsets, and a lot of shit's just running through my fucking brain. And I'm trying to like, I'm clearing it all up. I'm putting everything in files as I'm at the gym or somewhere,
Mhm.
and the fans walk up and they'll be like, "Oh my god, are you such and such?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." But by the way, the other day I was talking to this scientist, and I was sitting there with him, and he showed me these fucking amoebos, that fucking girl in these ponds, and I just start going into, I do the Colin Robinson on them, and I turn into that energy vampire, and they're like, "Oh fuck! Well, it was great to meet you." And I'm like, "Wait, yeah, I haven't even told you about the clades of the short-faced bear yet." And everybody's like, "Oh fuck, dude, I got to get away from it." I'm like, "Get back here! God damn it, I'm not done talking to you."
I had some lady come in a while back. We were at the shop, and me and my buddy Big Tim were sitting there talking, and we're having a discussion about traveling in space, time dilation, black holes, all this shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And this
yeah.
lady comes in and she just stares at us for a while. And then Tim goes to the other side and I wait on her. She goes, "That's not the conversation I thought I would come into at a comic book store." I'm like, "Then you go to the wrong comic book store."
Yeah.
We get into deep philosophical shit about space
Yeah.
and time travel and what it's like to be parallel
Same.
dimensions and shit.
Same. Same. Actually, right now I'm working with Pellissippi State Community College, and the biology professor there, he's going to be debuting on my show pretty soon. Professor Jeepers, in reality, is actually Professor Grant. He's a biology professor for Pellissippi State. Well, me and him have teamed up mainly because I was like, I'm gonna have a mad scientist on Hack's Horror Show, and everybody's like, yeah, and I'm like, but fuck you, I got to do it better. I'm not gonna put a guy in a lab coat. I'm like, I'm gonna go get a real fucking scientist and have him say some science shit on the show. I was like, my mad professor be a real mad professor, and I did that. I absolutely fucking did that. And we had him on the show, man. It was great. So now we have the University of Tennessee, UT, go Big Orange. We got them fully backing this whole project, and now me and Professor Jeepers have been off on this crazy adventure, talking to different fucking scientists. And there's a dinosaur named after Hack now, and all kinds of shit. They're letting me in the back rooms where you're not supposed to go because they think I'm cool. And what they don't realize is these nerdy fucking scientists, I think they're super cool. Like I'm super interested in what they do, and they say they're like, "Oh, you're on television and you host a show." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck all of that." What did you just say about fucking? You did what? You put the rover on the Miss Linda? Did you just say you put something on the fucking Mars? I'm like, I ain't done shit. I've done nothing for humanity except ruin the minds of our fucking some young people. It's like you put shit on Mars. Like people should know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like
100%.
it's wild. All the stuff, all the stuff we're getting into together. That project's going to be a lot of fun. Just hacking a biology professor, going around talking to these scientists, and I know why I'm there. I know exactly why I'm there. When the one scientist is like, "Now, how do you get the molecules to fucking form with the carbon?" I'm going to be over there like, "Hey, what does that button do? What do you got in that room? Is that where you keep it? Can I see it?" Like, and the bad thing, a lot of these scientists are like, "Oh, we can't. The general public is not don't know this information. Only 5 people have seen this." And I'm like, "Ah, dude, it's me. Come on, buddy, it's fucking Uncle Tony, dude. Like, ain't gonna hurt nothing." And they're like, "Oh, okay, come on, I'll show it." And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Next thing you know, we're going in a fucking elevator, going like, "How many floors are we going down?" And they walk into a room and they're signing all this paperwork, and there's a fucking soldier there, fucking M16 on his chest, like fucking strapped it to the like fucking full on video game. I'm like, I didn't know you guys went actually wore all that shit. I thought it was for the game when you had all the knives and extra magazines on you, like to look dope as fuck for the video game. I didn't know like you, dude, like you're really wearing this. What the fuck are you guarding down here? Like, holy, like, why do you have a machete and a flamethrower and a bazooka? Like, what is in that room? I'm not going. I'm just kidding, guys.
Don't
Let me
open
go
that.
back up. But I'm getting to see all kinds of shit people have never got to see. Stuff I can't show on film or talk about it, but kind of cool. It's kind of weird. I thought it was going to be a big deal when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, what if aliens are real? It's going to blow everybody's fucking mind. Then here it is, a fucking scientist lady. She's like, yeah, they're real. They've always been real. We've known about them. We reverse engineered a lot of their stuff, but you don't want to hear about that. And she's got space leggings on, and she's bubbly and funny, and just this short, heavy set lady named Miss Linda who put shit on Mars, talking about, yeah, I know where aliens are. I got them in the closet. And she's like, now I got to take the kids to school. And I was like, I thought it was gonna be such a bigger deal. Like, I thought it was gonna be so much bigger. My mind was blown, but everybody else was like, "Oh, dude, hack, we all know about them." Like, I'm like, but the scientists just confirmed it and told me like it was like she asked me what I wanted from Taco Bell. Like,
dude, years upon years ago, I'm sitting there talking to this guy. He was a colonel at Wright Pat Air Force Base. And I'm just joking around with him. I was like, dude, they still got aliens. It's like, well, you got the aliens
yeah,
down there, right? And he goes, they're not there anymore. And he just like it's nothing. I'm like,
dude,
was he fucking with me? Because that was just so off. Just like, no, they're not there anymore. And
yeah. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
damn, what? Oh, they're not
Oh,
there anymore. So they were there, is what you're saying.
yeah,
Then the tornado hit there. The tornado hit right pat. And you're just like, I was waiting for the, and they found the UFO, right?
yeah, dude. It's so weird because it's like today. Today I was talking about something, and I was talking about like fucking Stonehenge or whatever. And somebody's like, "Oh yeah, a guy went there and burned them all down." I'm like, "Somebody went to Easter Island? How the fuck did they get there? How did they even get gas to Easter Island? Like, don't it take like 19 years to get there by a fucking boat and helicopter and submarine? Like, ain't it like the one place on Earth like we can't go? Like, no
It's
one's
way
ever.
out in the middle of nowhere. It's like nowhere.
And all the people died because they were living there and they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
And
they
nobody
ran
could
out.
come
They
in.
ran out of shit. Yeah, that's what they. Well, it's like finding out what's the one island. It's literally
Somebody burned them down though. They burnt down fucking Stonehenge. They burned all the fucking statues.
that's weird, but
That happened 10 years ago. See, now you feel exactly the way I
yeah.
feel, where you're like,
Well, well,
fuck.
yeah. Holy shit, I didn't know that at all. But there's that one island that's so far out in the middle of the ocean, and it's the only inhabitable island. And at points, the closest human beings are in the space station going overhead.
God,
That's the
no.
closest people that are to that island are the people in the International Space Station going overhead.
That makes me nauseous. That's scary. That is no. I've been locked away. I've been in solitary confinement. What hell? What hell? That's my hell. Is solitary confinement. I gotta spew nonsense on the people, or I'll die. I'll be like the it monster. I'll just fucking turn into a baby
Yeah,
and be like,
talk no more. Well,
like fucking hate me already.
well, the I have my wife. My wife has just a horrendous fear of going into space. Something she will never do ever. The like like
What?
getting blown out the airlock or whatever scares the fuck out of her. But that's something she never has to worry about. And I was like, me, I'm the other way. I finally figured out because I tried to think about something that actually freaks me out a little bit, and I came to the conclusion: deep black water freaks me out.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that's like when people swim out in the middle of the ocean, like they'll jump off a boat like miles upon miles away,
Yeah. What are you doing?
and there's nothing, like literally there's like 6 miles straight down from where you're at, and you don't know what's swimming up to get you and then disappearing that you will never see.
Yeah, no.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, maybe I don't worry about space because I'd love to go into space. Not gonna lie, fucking, they go, we need you to
I'm
be
going.
on the spaceship. Okay, cool, I'm going. That no
Yep.
fear, nothing.
Take me
But
with you.
they go, we need you to go to this station at the bottom of the ocean. I'll be like, yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah. No,
I'm
guys.
good. I'm good. I don't need to be eaten by no giant squid or no shark or fucking. I don't know what's down here. It's black. It's fucking dark. And then finding out that you have to, um, like on them stations that are way down there, like to take a shit, you got to go and like drop trout and like just poop in the water.
Into the
And I'm like,
nothingness.
dude, I don't want to be just down there. And all of a sudden, a fucking shark take my legs off.
Dude, that's scarier than your whole body being in there. It's like now you're down in the bottom of the depth, like I'm 20 leagues below sea level, and you got to stick your ass now into that dark abyss, dude. That's a bravery I will never know, dude.
Nope,
Because
nope.
I'm with
As
you.
soon as I heard that you have to do that, I'm like, nah, I'm
I'm out.
good. My ass
No
will
fucking
stay
way.
on the beach. I'll swim in the ocean so
Yeah,
far out where I can still see. But man,
yeah.
when you get down where it's like dead black and you're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
No, my spot now, man, when I go swimming out in the ocean, it's like now I judge it before I get out there. I'm like, I got to go out far enough so the kids are like, Dad's still cool, like he's still the man, and not die, and make it back because they goat me into a lot of shit.
See,
Uh,
mine is
well,
that I haven't been in the ocean in forever, but it was always where I go out far enough that I could, if I could bob and drop down and touch the ground and then come back up and my head would pop up and like that, I'm good.
yeah.
As soon as I go down and I go down and I touch bottom and then I'm like, give me,
No,
I'm still okay. That is a little too deep. When you got to do like that couple little like when you get just bob back up and you actually got to kind of push yourself back up, that's when it's a little too deep.
no. My thing is that not knowing, so I got like swimming shoes on. Because I'm like, I'm the guy. I'm gonna step on a fucking heroin needle, or a crab's gonna like slap onto my toe. I'm gonna be that guy that happens to. That's how my luck goes. So when I'm in the water, dude, my feet go down, like, and I don't feel nothing. Then it's just instant panic back to the surface. I'm like, oh no, there's no bottom. So yeah, that deep water, no, I won't do. Space, I will do. The ocean is a whole nother planet. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
There,
We don't know what the fuck's going on down
nope.
there. We
Mm-mm.
need to stay out of it. Just stay out of it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, big ass fucking. It's like the colossal squid don't exist. Okay, the colossal squid exists.
Yeah.
Okay, was it the giant squid? Well, no, first the giant squid didn't exist. Then they caught one. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the giant squid exists. The colossal squid does not exist. Then they catch one. Okay, the colossal squid exists.
Yeah.
There's fucking was it the mammoth grouper?
Yeah.
It's a fish the size of a goddamn cow. Its
Yes.
mouth is that goddamn big, and it can eat a person whole.
Well, dude,
And
right here at home in Tennessee, we have a dam. We have the TVA dam. Generates power for fucking most of the country. But we have the TVA dam. We have for the past 40 years, we've had a fucking big break in the bottom of the dam. We can't get divers to go to the dam because we send a diver in to fix it from underwater welding. Dude comes out in a fucking panic and he's like, fucking eat shit, not going back in there. These catfish have sat at the bottom of this dam and just collected this food.
mm-hmm,
Now we have catfish the size of fucking Volkswagens, the
mm-hmm.
size of a catfish the size of a fucking sedan is living at the bottom of this dam, and we can't go down there and fix it because we know for a fact that catfish is big enough to swallow the diver. So it's like now we've been trying to figure out for like 40 years. Do we kill this monster fish, or how do we got to get down there and do some shit? How do we get past him?
You,
Like,
you're
because
gonna have to at that point because I mean that bitch would be hard to kill down there that big. You'd have to get it out. You'd have to shut the
yes,
dam down, pull it out, and get them all of them out that you can, and then
yeah,
move them somewhere else.
we
You know,
would but if we shut down that dam, we would just turn the fucking lights off to
yeah,
the
that's
whole
the thing.
southeast coast.
Well, I remember my uncle telling me he was telling me that there was a place across from when he lived in Texas, or was his where he worked in Texas, and they had a breakwater. So it had the where it go over, and then it had those big stone pylons. So all the shit would get caught there or get busted up,
Yeah,
and then it would go down. real deep and then come back up and had those big breaks in there. Well, they had to go in there and they start draining it. Well, it only drains so low, and they have to start pulling all the shit out. And this one guy comes flying up out of there. He's like, "There's something in there." Big fucking catfish. He goes, "They said you could take a basketball and stick it in that damn thing's mouth, and it would swallow the
Exactly.
basketball whole."
See,
Basketball with it, that big, and you're like, "No,
and see if we can do that with just normal fucking fish,
Mhm.
because we've been fucking around trying to do some stuff to make a dam. Imagine what the ocean's been producing since the beginning of time.
Yep.
And think there's a lot of shit, dude, like meteor can hit the planet, boom, but it ain't going this way. It ain't going down. It ain't killing and frying all that shit. There's shit on the bottom that they made it through. They probably
Mhm.
shouldn't have.
That's why sharks survived. Fucking sharks, they're, coelacanth, all them things survived the fucking extinctions. Because one, they're down there. Two, they're fucking
Sharks.
sturdy as hell. They're sharks, yeah, you're hard to fucking kill. They'll, they eat their, they eat their own in the womb
Yeah.
before they're born. Fuck that.
Fucking
But
ferocious.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'd swim with 100 sharks before I'd swim with one goddamn dolphin.
Damn right.
Because at least a shark would just fucking eat you. A dolphin
Yeah.
will rape you
Yes.
and drag your ass to the bottom and drown you.
Torture you first.
Yeah.
Just because they think it's fucking funny.
Yeah, because they're vindictive as shit. And you're just like, nope. At least the shark would just fucking snap. Oh, nope, that ain't food. Swim off. You might
Dude,
lose an arm or leg.
see, there's another reason to stay out of the fucking water, because when you're a kid, you're looking at dolphins and you're like, oh, girls like dolphins and would they're whatever. You hear all this shit.
Yep.
And then when you learn about them in real life, it's like, oh, they actually know things and they're intelligent and they're
Mhm.
all dickheads. They love knocking the surfer off the board because they think it's funny.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, so these fish are assholes.
Yep.
And I went out on a boat, man, and I'm gonna say it. A lot of people don't like me for odd reasons. It's not because of the TV show. It's because I don't like Linkin Park. Everybody's like, "You don't like Linkin Park?" I'm like, "Not one song," and everybody hates me for it. And then dolphins. I got out on the boat. I'm looking over the water, and all these dolphins start jumping out, and I was just like, eh. I was so like underwhelmed, underimpressed, and I'm like, I'm on this boat, and I'm looking. There's like 100 people on this fucking thing, and I just looking at people, and some people are getting teary eyed, and they're like, "This is beautiful. This is amazing." And I'm like, I spent $60 on this. Like, damn, should have kept that 60. That would have got me a handle. Fuck. And like, it took the kids up to the front of the boat, man. And I was the worst person to be on the boat. They wanted to see the front. Took them to the front. I didn't know the fucking front was going up fucking 50 yards and then smacking back down into the water. So I got like my youngest son, death grip on him, and he's like, "Woo, this is great!" And I'm just fearing that we're gonna die. I'm trying to hold on to the front so we don't go flying off the damn thing. And I'm like, "Fuck this ocean!" Like, no, we're going back where they're staying, and we can go on the edge of the water. We can jump on a couple waves, then we're gonna go to the hotel pool. We don't need to be out there. There's a reason why we're here, and all that shit's there. I can't breathe in that shit, so that tells me I need to stay the fuck out of it.
I'll tell you the one thing that's scary, and I found out this within the last few years. It takes longer to drown in salt water than it takes in fresh water.
Thank you. Now you can put me to fucking bed tonight too, buddy.
Now you're gonna have that horror thing. So you're sinking, man. It's gonna take you drowning in a lake. You're gonna drown a lot faster than you were drowning in the ocean.
Yes. Dude, the people got to see little the Castle Hack here, man. I went to the fridge to get something to fucking drink, and I didn't know I was gonna get stuck walking. So I don't know if you got to see most of the house.
This
Sitting
is
on the stairs right now because I got everything. I don't have a set, dude. I got my whole thing tore apart because I'm building shit and I didn't want to get everything dirty. So
Yeah, well, that's funny because the other day I did my show and the kids' Hot Wheels were still sitting on the table, and I was like, so when I disappear from the show, like when I do the live stream and I'm there and I tell everybody like, all right, I'm gonna go play with Vince. That's what we're doing. We're playing Hot Wheels. I bought him some
nice,
Hot Wheels shit, so we're playing Hot Wheels.
dude. You got to send me your address. You got to send me your address. I got something cool.
Sweet.
I got something cool, man. For Hot Wheels, I'm gonna send to you.
Nice.
You
Thank you.
send me the address, dude. I'm putting them all in a box and mail them to you. I just got them. And you said that, so they'll have a good home.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
oh,
found some of my old Hot Wheels.
there
But
you
the
are.
funny part about it is he loves just the regular cars. If you look at his
Nice.
cars, it's a he's got like a Dodge Charger. He's got like uh, uh, an Audi. Uh,
Dude, the performance on an Audi's
yeah,
insane.
a Fiat. Then he found shit that was mine. So there's an old Redline Nova or Nomad,
Nice.
and it's the front's beat up and shit. And then where'd it go? Where'd it go? Then there's stuff that like just came in at the shop. So I was like, here, have a Hot Wheel, kid. and,
Dude,
but
I got something. I got what I tell you what it is now. I'm gonna send it to you, man. You got the Hot Wheels there. I just got a whole lot of the WCW NWO Hot Wheels.
mhm.
So I have the entire NWO Hot Wheels, dude, like Bret Hart, the Stevie Ray, and it's funny because it's a picture of Stevie Ray, but he still has like the old tag team belt on his shoulder. Like let's use the one where he's got the title on his shoulder, but it's like a tag team title. So I got that whole NWO Hot Wheels lot, dude. Send me the address and I'll mail you that whole box because
Cool,
I don't
yeah.
know what to fucking do with them.
Yeah. He'll just play with them. This is what's funny. And since you got walked around, hold on a second. There we go. I just started doing this the other day. I show people the set here because there's the set. This is
Nice.
where I film. That's where my table is. That's where my shit is. Then you go that way, and you got all the helmets. Then you go
Fuck
way
yeah.
back there. There's the arcade.
Oh, nice, dude.
Then there's what that was a bar. Now it is just that's where comic boxes go to die. And and then here's my helmet. And then this is where I'm at right now in my Shogun Warriors, my movie posters.
Mm.
And
Hey,
then
that's me.
all my vinyl and some of my vinyls back there on the bar.
Nice.
And it was so funny because the wife was like, she goes, I knew you were going to take over the basement. I was like, yeah, but you got the whole upstairs. That's yours.
Yeah, you got all the rest of
You
it.
got, well, my mother-in-law lives with us. And so she has the middle floor. So I get the basement, she gets the middle floor, and then the upstairs, Tina's got that, and that's where our bedroom is too. And Vince's room is up there, but he loves sleeping down here because then he can
Oh,
sneak
yeah.
over and well, I have to steal the remote for the TV and hide it from him at night. If not, he'll get up. But now he comes over here and plays on a computer. So he comes over. So when I come up in the morning, I come down here and I turn on the computer or log on to the computer. He's like was watching Family Guy or something that he's not supposed to be watching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you little turd, what are you doing? You're supposed to be asleep. Is
Do
he?
we all did that.
Oh
We
yeah,
all did.
100%. Yeah, my kids
That's
did
how
it.
this shit got started.
All my older boys did it. They used to sneak down and watch Family Guy or go play video games. I used to get up in the middle of the night and go watch HBO and Cinemax
That's
and
me.
horror movies that I'm not supposed to be watching and Skinemax. I'm watching
Yes.
like Lingerie Judge 3 or something like that.
Yes,
3
dude.
morning on Cinemax.
Nobody has fucking hit an AB button on a scrambler box more than me. I'm like, oh fuck, you got to push this to get to make it work.
Well, what was real funny? First apartment I ever had, a guy I worked with owed me some money, and he was a guy who used to work for the cable company. So he would go get cable boxes and tag them, and so you get all the channels, everything.
Nice.
And about once every 6 months to a year, you'd have to get with him and you'd have to redo it. You'd have to climb
Yep.
up on the line and fuck with it, and then go to the
Yep.
And so I had all those channels. So I watched like every pay-per-view, everything.
Hmm.
And I remember one day I'm like, screw it, I got this. And was the Playboy channel. And I was like, I'd never had the Playboy channel because I lived out in the country at one point. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, Playboy channel's on. I watched it,
Yeah.
like, this is boring as shit. And it didn't come on until 10 o'clock at night, and it went off at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and why? It was worse stuff
Yes.
was on Cinemax or on HBO than it was ever on the Playboy channel. So
I missed the channels that was the same as another channel, and you didn't know until a certain time at night, and that channel ceased to exist, and it became some porno show channel. Dude, I'm still treated that way. Knoxville Community Media has always been on here in Tennessee. The cable station has always been right here in Knoxville. What people don't realize is the Discovery Channel is in Knoxville. Jewelry television is in Knoxville. So 30 years of them peddling costume jewelry on TV is right down the road. Uh, the Discovery Channel owns ID Discovery, Home and Garden,
yeah,
TLC, Own,
yeah,
History.
it's Warner Brothers Discovery. Yeah, it's the
Yeah, and their headquarters have always been right here. So all these fucking shows you watch, man, it's like all the shows you watch. Anytime it's a murder fucking show, every woman likes to watch nothing but fucking murder shows. They love murder mysteries. They love true crime
true crime. Yeah,
shit. I don't
yeah.
know why, but they just love
Me and my
hearing the
wife watch true
details.
crime documentaries all the time.
Yeah,
I
same,
love them.
dude. It's like, wow, well, you just want to listen to this, like, and you just always see the cop and it's like, yeah, I didn't know the defendant, but really light up the room when they came into it. And it's like, then some nice lady talking, it's like, yeah, they walked into the room, saw him gutted and bloodied all over the floor. And I'm like, people say I'm weird for fucking listening to fucking Gigi Allen, but goddamn, like, this is a lot worse. Like, they don't blur this one? Like, wow, what? Which one are you on now? She gets into them. But all my friends and family, whenever you need an extra $50, if the plasma center's closed, they go to Jupiter Entertainment and they just go be in background extra on a TV show for the day and make all this extra money.
That's crazy.
um,
See,
but always, dude, it's so weird. Like we got it now, dude. Like with streaming, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you can have all the channels, all the movies, all the shit comes on right here." And I'm like, "We had that already, and you didn't even have to pay for it. You just paid a dude every once in a while. Now you got all these subscription fees. Like you just be a dude who come over to your house,
like,
and
go up
you
on the
wasn't
pole.
sure. Yeah, this dude come over and he normally brought his daughter and thought she was kind of pretty, but you thought at the same time she might have been a cousin. And then he left, and you always wondered what that guy was there for. He was the dude fixing the cheater box for the family, like he was the milkman.
Yeah, those are the days, man. Like I said, I watched every my house. I was the first one of my buddies to have a house, to have an apartment. So everybody came to my apartment. Then when wrestling hit big and all the pay-per-views, everybody came to
Yeah,
my house because I got all the pay-per-views. Then when UFC started up, we didn't know what UFC, but fuck it, it was free. So we watched it.
yeah,
So, and I would record everything. So every movie that 'cause I saw the VCR then, so I had my VCR tapes full of all the
yes,
movies that when they would drop on, for the pay-per-view, and I had all that crap. And that was I was the base, man. This is where we all
dude.
went, partied and
And,
drank.
in Knoxville, dude, that's what I was. I was home base, and even though I'm still home base, so a lot of people in Knoxville, like, dude, that was me. That's how it got started. We had the cheater box, and dude, I was dubbing all the wrestling pay per views on the fucking cheater box, and all
Mhm.
these weird horror films I couldn't see, but like Demons 2 wasn't in the movie theaters here, but at 3 o'clock in the morning, it was on fucking HBO like every night. So like I would get all these fucking movies, and I was the tape trader,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was. But then that's when I wanted to do the horror host thing at the same time. So I started fucking with the VHS camcorder, started filming myself, and putting it on the tape. So when I went and tape traded them, what they didn't know was they was gonna get a fucking Clockwork Orange, but it was gonna be Hack hosting that bitch. Like when they got it. Uh, but like, dude, like I so badly want to be in like the horror host Hall of Fame. But I'll probably never fucking get in it, dude. Like that Rondo Award, man. I've been a nominee for that shit 1,000 times. I always give it to fucking Svanguli. Good for him. He can
But
have it.
so,
Fuck all that.
somebody asked me, we posted the other day, and they're like, "Oh man," I was like, "Oh dude," I was like, "I know I'll never get nominated." I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like the bastard stepchild of horror hosting. And I was
Yeah.
like, I got no desire. I mean, if it happens, it happens, whatever. But if and nothing but I got nothing but praise for the people who make it. The people who get nominated, whatever. Good for you, man. I
Yeah.
know personally it'll probably never happen to me
No, no, dude,
because
not us.
like I said, I'm and I know that there are because I've gotten kind of snide remarks before, so I know there's people out there that just don't like me because
Fuck them, dude. I
yeah,
love you.
but I'm having fun doing what I do, and yes, I do cartoons. I don't worry about checking. I how I check and make sure my shit will pass is if I air it on YouTube and they don't take it down.
Yeah.
I have no I don't give a shit about monetization. I don't give a
Nope.
shit about nothing. I have fun doing what I do and I keep everything. So I have thousands of hours of cartoons for the simple
Nice.
fact is I don't want them to get lost. My whole
No.
thing with what I do is to protect
Archiving.
archive is protect Saturday mornings. I grew up.
Yes.
My favorite day of the week was Saturday morning. I love Saturday morning cartoons. It was all about going to Saturday morning cartoons, wrestling, and then I'd go to a matinee theater with my grandpa, and we go live, and I'd read comics. That's my life was cartoons, movies, wrestling, and comics. What's my life now? Cartoons, comic books, wrestling,
Yes.
and movies, and I make sure that people still have that experience. And people that's like I have people like, how many episodes you got? I was like, literally right now, I'm working on episode 102 of Sci Fridays,
Fuck yeah.
and this week's episode of Saturday Morning Serials be 150.
God damn.
And I don't, and there was like, how do you? I'm like, one is I don't sleep that well. I go to bed about 2 in the morning. I get up at 9. I
All
go
my
to
best shit comes out at night.
Yeah, and I work on shit at night. When I get done with you, I'm gonna edit this together so it drops tomorrow morning afternoon. I'm gonna get back to working on the show, and then tomorrow I'll get up. I'll be on the stream a little bit, talk to people, go to work, come home tomorrow. I'll start working on it again because it keeps me out of trouble, keeps me from doing stupid
Yes.
shit. Because I when I get a lot of free time on my way too much free time on my hands, I tend to do stupid shit. And
Same.
that's why literally my wife likes the way I am now because she gets a little aggravated because I do probably work too hard. I put way too much shit on my plate, which I get. And
Same.
I've walked away from a couple projects just because I didn't have time. But I'm a comic store owner, I'm a convention promoter, I'm a host, I'm a podcaster. I've been on other people's podcasts. I've been brought onto other people's podcasts as a quote unquote expert, which I don't consider myself, but people say I am because I've been doing this for fucking long enough that, comic book guy. I am a comic book guy. Um, but, and then I go to the gym and, during COVID, when everything was shut down, my wife went and got me a bench and bands, resistance bands, so I could work out every day at home because I started fucking having panic attacks because I couldn't go to the gym. And that's why I started the podcast because I had nothing to do. And then when I found out I could keep myself busy, and then I don't have the shit going on in my head, I stay busy. I don't get in trouble. I don't party. Like I said, I don't drink anymore, but when COVID hit and I was stuck at home, I started going, man, I could use a fucking Bloody Mary, and I was like, and I know if I would have slippery slope, man, all it would have took was just like, then
Yep.
it's when I'd be like, and then, but I'm pretty boring realistically. People are like, oh, you gotta have like I'm like, yeah, I talk to a lot of people, I hang
Yeah.
out with good people, but I don't drink. I don't party. I don't go, I don't go to bars. I don't, I love going to concerts and wrestling. Those
Yeah.
are my big things. And doing what I do now keeps me out of doing dumb shit. And the only thing I need to do is I'm going to have to take some time to slow down a little bit because come spring, I got 3 cars to work on.
Oh shit. Dude.
I got,
My ass fell asleep sitting on these stairs. No. No, dude, I feel you. I got to keep the mind occupied. I
Mhm.
got to keep it busy. But you're right. I don't give a fuck about monetization because I
Mm-mm.
told this entire town, all of Knoxville. I made a promise to them years ago. I was like, "Hey, hack can never leave you, and I'll never fucking charge you a dime. This is what I'm making for us." And that's how I feel. Like I'm trying to preserve that. I'm trying to preserve, like what television used to mean to people.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Like people talk about like that Hall of Fame, like, yeah, I want to be in it. Then it says you have to be doing shit 10 years to be in it. I'm like, well, I've been doing it since the fucking 99 into the late 2000s. I've been doing it longer than 10 fucking years, regardless if you know about it or not.
Yeah, see,
Then they're
that's
like,
where I'm at.
yeah, then they're like, oh, people have to see you. And I'm like, I got millions of shit. YouTube have sent me awards and I threw them in the garbage. I got to fuck your thing. Like I would never charge people for Hacks Horror Show.
I
Anything made off of it, I'll give it away. Like, dude, you're talking about you're promoting your convention. I cannot wait. We had a couple hiccups the past
Yep.
couple years. I got fucked coming out, but dude, I will die before I miss this next one coming
Oh
up.
yeah, I'm booking guests like literally like right before the show. I was talking to a couple people that I'm trying to book for guests, and we're going to slowly build. So I'm gonna get a few people. I got a couple local guys. I got a really good guy, Chris Hahn. He was at our last show. He used to wrestle in the WWEF. He was Johnny Paradise. He's a jobber, but
Yeah,
he wrestled the big ones. He's wrestled Taker. He's wrestled Shawn Michaels. He's wrestled, all these guys back in the. But now he's a stunt man slash, you know, actor. So he's been in a shit ton of movies, and we had him. He'll be back. I'm talking to a couple other people. I'm talking to a couple bigger comic book artists. Right now, we got a guy who worked for Archie Comics, which I know is not the big one,
that's
but
fucking
Archie
cool, man.
Comics has been around forever. This guy's been around forever. He's going to be there. I got a couple actresses coming up. Got a couple other, like I said, other comic book artists that have worked for Marvel and DC. We're in negotiations right now, so I can't really
Nice.
don't want to jinx nothing. Um, and we're moving forward with that. And like you said, okay, I do have a Patreon, and only thing I use for Patreon is like to buy shit for the show. Literally,
Yeah,
I saved up enough money on Patreon. I bought the computer. I bought this chair.
nice.
I pay for my fees for my for Zoom. I pay for my fees for my
It goes back into it.
yeah. It all goes back in. The only thing that was bought was a bunch of my guys donated money for Vince's drum kit. So
Nice.
I bought Vince's drum kit. It's back there in the corner.
That's badass.
He's and he loves it. He wishes he had a real drum kit, but I told him I was like, bud, you can't have a real drum kit until I can trust you not to start playing drums at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because
Yeah.
now he can just he can play because I turn it off. It's electric, so
Yes.
he put his earbuds in and you just hear tick, 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 and that's all. But you can't hear it upstairs.
Yes.
But now if I had a real drum kit, you just boom, 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 boom. So,
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know if I'm ready to live with the drummer yet, buddy.
and the worst part about it is he's only been playing since Christmas.
Oh,
And that kid has, I don't know, he's got about 10 or 12 songs that he can play now. And he just memorizes. He watches the videos of people
wait,
playing.
10 or 12?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He can play Tom Sawyer from Rush. He can play Master of Puppets. He can play Eye of the Tiger.
So he
He
can
can
play the
play,
good shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
he can play some AC/DC. He can play some Bon Jovi. But yeah, he'll just sit there and he'll be like, he was sitting over one day and he's like, he puts his earbuds on and he's like, and he's like, it's Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. And and he starts, and I'm like, and you have to listen because it's a lot of because you can't hear the actual beats through the thing. But I'm like going, holy shit, kid. And because like
Yeah.
you said, he memorizes everything he sees. Like he watches the videos, he'll sit there on his phone, and then he'll put the phone down, he'll turn the music up, and then he'll be like, and he like, and I'm like, and it's funny because now he's like, we're in a band, Dad. I'm like, buddy, Daddy can't play bass no more, man. I was like, I got no feeling in his hand. It sucks. So, but yeah, I'm like. dude, he's amazing, and he still wants a real drum kit, but I'm like, nah, not yet. Wait a year.
Yes,
Wait a year, and next year maybe I'll get you one for Christmas. But yeah, enough of my followers helped buy him a drum kit because they knew he wanted a drum kit for Christmas.
dude, that's the best thing. That's
Yep.
the best thing. Like those people right there. And my
Oh yeah.
thing is, I'm with you. It's like it's not really like I got followers or fans
Hmm.
because I'm the same as them. It's like we're
Hmm.
just trying to do some shit
Oh yeah.
together. And the whole show, Hacks Horse Show, is I just promote all the cool shit other people are doing, like
Hmm.
the movies. Dude, you said like the movie. I don't know which movie you got to see, and I'm at the end of it. But dude,
Uh,
there's like 40 movies now I'm in, and I pop up and I'm like, "Hi, kids," and it's like, "Fuck."
it's
Everybody goes to the movies and then they're like waiting on it. They're like, "Oh, fucking new hack was gonna pop up in this." Like, it's like it's like a thing now. Like a lot of indie movie films, they're like, "Okay, can you write in a part where a hack just pops up?" Like, I gotta like after this, I gotta do one, dude. I'm the governor of a place, like, but I'm still wearing the jacket, and I got to give like the press conference, like, fuck off, eat shit. But I'm the governor of Texas. Hack, it's just I got hacked to exist in all these different universes, and that's fun. Like, not only was I in wrestling, but I'm like the on television as the horror host. And then like I'm in the board game and I'm in the video game and then it's like I'm in this fucking movie. It's like all these different things I get to exist in, man. And it's fun just carrying on and doing shit with people. Like I enjoy that part. Like I don't give a fuck about awards or anything else. In fact, I'm gonna start my own Hall of Fame. It's gonna be the Trash TV Hall of Fame. Like the ones where like Springer and Phil Donahue's gonna go in, like all the worst TV shows you can imagine, like fucking Captain Cartoon's going in first inductee. like,
well,
like I'll make one for all the shitty people, I guess, because that's the thing, dude. Like we get looked at different because we're like norms. You would call us norms because we're not Dracula, we're
yeah, I'm
not
not. I don't have a gimmick.
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we don't have a elaborate costume.
yeah.
I had devil horns on for a while, and everybody thought that was part of my gimmick, and it was. It's part of my wrestling gimmick, and I just let it bleed through on the other shit, like so I could keep the heel persona up. That's during Bad Guy Hack when I was like this evil manager guy.
Mikey Severe, the mask guy. He's like, I'm going to come up and do your makeup, make you once. I was like, I'll let you do it once. I'll give
Yeah.
you like Halloween. I'll do it freaking. I've done stuff like I've done
Oh,
goofy
are you
shit.
talking about Mikey?
Severe.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude! If people want to ever do makeup on me, the answer is fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I told
Like
him, I was like, man, do it in a fucking heartbeat. I've done
that is the
stupid shit.
host for the host, dude. That dude is so good.
He's great. I gotta get him back on the show. We've had a shot with him a while back, and we had a blast. But now I have
Get me a
I've,
signed picture. I fucking love that guy, dude. Like,
we were supposed to meet up at Horror Hound. Was it last September? I think, but I couldn't make it. I was like out of state or something. Or no, I had something else going on, and I couldn't get away to go do a convention. So
I'm not gonna be a horror hound in March on the thing, but I will be there for eating Miss Campbell at the Humble Monk Brewery for the Trauma showing a movie. Lloyd Kaufman's gonna be there at the Humble Monk brewing place showing a movie on March 22nd. I am going to be there in Cincinnati, hanging out, getting getting fucking twisted, and just hanging out with everybody, man. Like I'm skipping the horror hound, skipping the convention. I'm just going to that.
see, I was going to go to the convention, and then I started. The prices went up this year. All the
Yeah,
autographs went up this year, and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to go. You know,
yeah.
I'm going to a concert on the 20th up in Detroit, so I'm like,
Nice.
I don't want to. But no, the closest thing I can come to a gimmick is every once in a while I wear a stupid mask when I come to the thing. Like I did
Yeah,
one, I had my Skeletor mask on, and I was doing my
yeah.
Skeletor voice, and
Hey, man.
hey man. And then I was sitting there one time, I was playing with He-Man figures, and I'm like sitting there going, "Who are you?" I'm Skeletor. No, I'm Skeletor. And I go, I'm playing with myself. And I'm like, I don't take it literally. I did this one the other day because I had my Star Wars helmet on, and the funny part about it is that's Captain Tev Carson from Mandalorian and
Yeah.
Ahsoka, and the actor that plays him, his real name is Paul Lee, but he's Korean, so it's like Paul Sung Lee. But
No
yeah,
way.
so I have a picture I took of me wearing that, and I sent it to him. I was like, it's Paul Lee in the helmet. I don't know if it's the right one, but yeah,
Did he like it though?
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It was funny because the day he started following me, I had to take a picture of it and show it to people. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Because I was like, oh, us nerdy Paul Lees have to stick together. And he's like, yes, we do.
Dude, that's incredible. You
Because
you do get to do some of the coolest fucking shit, brother. You really do.
fucking A, man. I love doing what I do. I've met so many cool people. I've gone to concerts with people, to shows with bands I've interviewed and hung out with them after the show. I've had them send me T-shirts and CDs and records, and because that's my other show, I do Talk and Roll, and
Yeah.
that's on a different channel, and it's slowly building. I was supposed to do an interview today with a band, but their sound was they had to fix it, so we had to reschedule. But I've done interviews with bands all over the world. Then it's funny because 'cause we've done a shit ton of people in Ohio and fucking Tennessee, because there's so many people from Tennessee
Yeah.
that are in bands.
Oh,
Um,
dude, yes. We all are.
yeah, and so I'm like, "Hell yeah." I'm like, I'm having fun doing that because and then I had one I sent an invite to, and they're like, "Oh, we're not metal or anything like that." I'm like, "If you look at some of the people I've interviewed, I've done synthwave, I've done
Yeah.
industrial, I've done goth synth, I've done, I did one girl I had to talk to because I was literally scrolling on my phone, fucking around, and all of a sudden I was like, it was she was pop punk, but she caught me because she looked like a fucking real life cartoon character. And so I had to reach out to her, and she was a blast to have on the show. And I'm like, it's not my forte of music, but it caught me, got my attention, and her character got my attention. And I'm like, if that gets my attention, that other people are going to be like, yeah, that's a fun show, fun, and I'm like, so I have a blast in what I do. Fucking A. So
Dude, the music thing, I'm the same way. Like, that's why any of my shows you always show music video.
mhm.
I always try to keep that in there because I was like, dude, I love Beavis and Butthead. That's where I got all my music videos from. Like watching those guys. But my thing is like I love like just horrible fucking dude. Like my playlist is weird. I'll be listening to the Mentors, listening
Yeah,
to like Golden Shower, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "Oh, this is a band. They were on Springer once."
yeah.
And it's like, what else they do? And it's like, that's kind of it. Like, it
I
was
did.
like, how many like, dude, do you? It's like people flip through my albums and they're like, "Do you have the entire catalog of Government Mule?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I
Well,
do."
this is how this is just a small stack. I just grabbed this off my shelf. This is not sorting this shit out at all. I have the Omen soundtrack. I got Harley Poe,
Oh
Satan,
my
Sex, and
god.
Regrets. Then I got Death, Leprosy. I got Health Disc 2.
Oh my god. This too.
I got Red Fang,
Oh my god.
and I have Bolt Thrower.
Fuck off.
And that's just pulling a handful of records off a shelf. That is
What the
not
fuck are
picking
you
and
doing with
choosing,
those, Bob?
because if you go a little further, let's see. Here we go. No, I won't go with that one. I'll go a little bit further. All right, you go a little bit further. There's Amigo the Devil.
No.
What's this one? SOD.
Nice.
Um, oh, Bloody Hammers.
Bloody Hammers.
Bloody
Holy.
Hammers is a band who does music if it was made by Hammer Films. They have like
Oh my
songs called
god.
Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, Now the Screaming Starts, The Summoning, Fire in the Dark, Beast is Coming Out, Welcome to Darkness, Tales that Witness Madness, Condemned a Prisoner, From Beyond the Grave and Unbreakable, and he also do a cover of Twilight Zone. So, and
Oh
then
my god, dude! I'm
King
looking that
Diamond,
up
Abigail.
as soon as we get off the show, dude. I'm
Yeah,
going
there
straight to
you go.
Bloody
There you go.
Hammers. You did.
This is Sleep Dope Smoker. This song is 2 records, and it's only 2 songs. One
Good
song is
God.
an uh, hour and 24 minutes, and the other song is 19 minutes.
Good God.
This is just shit you listen to when you're high. It's the only
Yes.
thing that this exists for.
It just says
And then the
sleep.
last one is, yes, I have the Transformers, the original motion picture soundtrack. And that's like I said, my one buddy looked at me, he goes, your music tastes are schizophrenic. And I was
Yes,
like,
very, dude.
yeah. The other day I was editing, and the only thing I was listening to was Tarantino soundtracks.
Oh, dude, nice.
So it was Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, um, From Dusk Till Dawn, and oh, True Romance.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
That's where Hack differs. Look at Quentin Tarantino. All he's fucking done, he makes some of the best movies ever. And the only thing he does to give back to his hometown in Knoxville is all the movies he'll mention Knoxville, like Bruce Willis and Pulp Fiction. He's like, gotta make it to Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you fucking dick. That's all you're gonna do is just pass, like, half-ass mention us in your movies. That's it.
When I worked in Dayton, I worked at a comic book store. We were on Fifth Street down in Dayton. And if anybody knows where Fifth Street down, it's not far
Okay.
from Neon. And somebody comes in and goes, fucking Tarantino's at the Neon. I'm like, bullshit, fucking Tarantino's at the Neon. So we're like, fuck it, we'll walk down there. Because it's, 3-4
Dude,
blocks away. So we walk down there, fucking here comes Tarantino, walks out, gets in the limo and drives off. He just kind of waves at people. He was trying to buy, they had a
he was there.
panoramic projector there at one point that would show how the West was won in full fucking 72, because they had the big screen, it's curved.
Yeah.
So when you would look to the left and the right, it looks like you were looking still further out. So the movie was still going on over this way and over that way. And he was trying to buy that at the time. He was there. And that's the closest I've ever been to Quentin Tarantino was I seen him get in a car once.
Holy fuck, dude. Still
Yeah.
just seeing him get in there, man. What? That had to be cool.
Yeah.
I've never got to see the best story I got, dude, is about to fight Gary Busey.
I
Yeah.
think everybody's almost fought Gary Busey because he's
I think, well, dude, we got into an argument over how to spell a name, and I thought he's being a dick, and he's completely out of his mind. He sees a housekeeper walking by, and not saying it, not body shaming anybody, but that housekeeper wasn't winning any beauty pageants fucking coming up anytime soon. Let's say that. And he starts screaming at her. He's like, I want to lick your whole body. And it's like, fuck, dude, chill. And the guy's like stabbing him in the ribs like a handler
well,
instead of a
I know
manager.
that at one point, if you booked him, you had to book Jake because Jake
Yeah.
would be his handler and would keep him from doing stupid shit.
Yeah, he was handcuffed to a metal briefcase. Like, I was like, I know he didn't win Money in the Bank. What's in there? Like, I know it had to be something. It was like a steel briefcase, dude, like the old school metal briefcases, and he's handcuffed to it. And he's like looking around. I didn't know he was so big. And I'm like, and he's like got mad at me, so I start cussing him back. And he goes to get up, dude, and he keeps getting up. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh shit. But me being me, I'm like, I don't went this far. Like, I ain't gotta back down from him now. I'm gonna kick his fucking crazy ass. Like, so it gets worse. Um, so no, dude, I got to meet the same. I get to meet so many kick ass cool people, and it's always a good fucking time.
Yeah.
We always have a good time. I always love meeting people, hanging out, and I talk to everybody, and I enjoy everybody's company. Hard sometimes because like you go talk to these people, then you come back over and in fucking entertainment, no matter what line of entertainment you're in, whether it be music, whether it be movies, whether it be television, all this shit, it's so clicky. There's all
Oh
these
yeah.
cliques and groups, and fucking people, and then you talk to these people, and you're like, man, they're pretty dope. I like them. Then you fucking talk to these people, and they're like, oh, I hate them, and they hate us. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, I don't hate none of you guys. I kind of just met you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just having a good time,
See,
and
yeah,
then they get pissy at you if you ain't like, oh, you gotta hate them too. So I don't do that. I don't fucking
yeah.
do none of that shit. I'm just nice and good to everybody, and make friends with whoever. And by far, Paul, you're one of the fuck coolest.
Hey,
But
you're
I
awesome,
mean
man.
that.
Like I said, I wish we lived closer because, like I said, we'd hang out all freaking time. And,
Dude, we
and
would.
and I can't wait till
Not
you one of these days when I go up to freaking horror show and you're there. That'll be awesome.
well, we're looking at April. I think April, Horror Slam is going to be down here, and then either May or June, we're all going up there to Horror Slam to be part of that event. So that's going
See,
to be pretty wild.
I was supposed to go to Horror Slam, not this upcoming weekend, the weekend after, but my buddy's like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Dude, that's my anniversary. My anniversary is in not next week, but or well, this upcoming week. It's the week after. Well, it's
You
actually
better
this
get
week.
this right, Paul.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up. I'm having to think what day it is. But it's not this upcoming week. It's the week after. So for those 25 years of being married, 30
Nice.
years of being together, I found a woman that puts up with my shit more than anybody else.
Congratulations.
And I love her to death. And
We should get her an award. If anybody
she definitely
deserves an
needs an
award,
award.
it's her.
God, she needs a I tell people it's like you don't understand that there is no reason whatsoever for that woman to be with me to this day. I was not a good boyfriend. I was not the best husband in the beginning. I screwed up a lot, because I drank a lot and I did stupid shit. And like I said, I don't hide nothing from nobody. So if anybody ever got any questions or ask me, I'll tell them. Because that's when you get in trouble is when you hide that shit. I'm like, no, I
Yes.
fucked up. I fucked up a lot.
That's the best way to be,
Yeah.
brother. Is just
And
fucking say it.
yeah, and I, I'm I love that woman to death. I will, you know, I mean, she's my wife, but I'd take a bullet. I wouldn't even question it. I wouldn't, she need a lung or a kidney. I'd be like, all right,
Yes.
I'm good.
Dude,
If you can take it, take it.
same with mine. I don't know how she does it or anything now, like how she puts up with me and my overly nice. Like that's me. I get buried in projects,
Hmm.
and a lot of the projects is because I don't want to tell these people no.
Hmm.
And then I work on some that are important. Like I got my buddy Sin. He's gonna be watching the podcast later. He's got a fucking. I sent him a show to edit, right?
Hmm.
And he's like, okay, I can edit this for Hack real quick, but I don't need him to edit it. I need him to produce it. I didn't tell him that. I just sent it to him. I was like, I need you to put this together. And he's like, this motherfucker. But I got those people to help me. But man, my wife, she's like the TPW started because she got the ring rental. She bought the title. She like fucking set it all up. Like she went and got all the stuff. She financed all of that to get TPW going.
Hmm.
The horror show, man. I've been doing it for years, and then I get times where I get fucking where I'm like, what am I doing? What am I? This shit makes it's not important. It don't fucking matter to nobody. I should just fucking quit, and I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with this shit. She's the constant reminder, like, hey, no, you've helped save this TV station. You kept the other stuff. You got the MagCon is a free convention that me and Pellissippi State put on because you got kids, and me too. When I was a kid, my parents couldn't take me out to a whole bunch of things,
Yep.
and if I did get the rare chance where they got to take me somewhere, we didn't walk over to the merchandise table. We didn't
Nope.
walk over to the concession table. We didn't even go near it. Like we got the ticket to go in, and we had to be grateful for that ticket, watch it, and then leave. And we'll have like something to drink when we get home. Like
Yep.
you just had to go like 3 or 4 hours without any food. It's because they couldn't afford it. So I wanted to make a convention where they could be guests and vendors, and it would be 100% free. So you bring all the things, and that's to Professor Jeepers grant. over there at Pellissippi State, and them working their asses off to make that happen. And I'm just a small fucking help on that, but I fully support that and try to do it for the community.
Yep.
And because I love where I come from, dude, I'm so proud of it. Like I go everywhere, and I meet all these people, and I'm like, it's really not that different. Like from one place to the other, everybody's kind of the same. But my wife, she's always been the driving force behind that, the constant reminder. Like, dude, same. Take a bullet for her in a second. And most of the time, if you see me out anywhere, you don't ever see me without her. Or if you do see me without her, most of the time everybody's just asking where she is.
Yeah.
But she's always there, man. You can have a group of these fucking weird ass wrestler guys, or we're all sitting there talking about the same thing. We're talking about comics and black holes and everything. And normally, like, my wife is the one driving the car to whatever event we have to go do that day. And half the guests that are going to be there, we all party together the night before. So we show up at the convention all together, fucking looking like a mess, just piling out of my car. Get them.
Oh, it's Tina is she's my moral compass, say the least. She's also the one that will tell me. The other day I was sitting there, I was just fucking scrolling through Facebook. I found a 6640 Line van.
Oh God.
And I'm sitting there going, I can afford that. It runs, but it needs work. I was like, I could turn that into the mystery machine.
Yeah.
And then Tina looks at me, she goes, you don't need any more project cars. You got two Camaros outside you're working on. You got the Crown Vic you got to work on. You got your own Magnum you got to work on. And I
Yeah,
was like,
like,
"Yep, all right, I'm good." She's the one who told me she's the voice of reason, as I like to say.
yes.
And she's the one where I was going to buy a wrestling ring, and
Oh,
she goes, why? And I was like, oh, I want to own a wrestling thing, and I'm not going to book it. I'll let other people take care of that. I'll just own it. And she goes, you say that, and it might be that way for the first couple times. She goes, but soon you're going to be working. You're going to do everything you still do now. And then you're going to book wrestling. You're going to be doing all that shit. She goes, I'm not telling you no, but I'm strongly advising against it.
yes, dude.
And I went, all right, all right. And it's funny because my buddy Aaron Williams, the wrestler, he looked at me and goes, did you thank your wife? He goes, because you need to.
Yes.
He told me, he goes, remember, the only way to make $1 million in the wrestling business is to start out with two.
Yeah. That's true.
And I went, all right. So I told the guy, didn't need the ring, whatever, moved on. But yeah, she's like, I'm not telling you no, because I would never tell you no. But I would just tell you, can you do it? Do you think you can? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. And I'm like, I just acknowledge it, move on.
Dude, don't do it. She was
No,
right. She was right. She's 100% right.
yep. And yeah, I had the idea, and part of me thought about just buying one just so I could rent it out to people that I knew. And then I was like, but then I have to pay to store it, and it would never pay for itself because it would be in storage so much that I'd have to be paying for storage and would rent and paying it off. So no, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll just stick with what I got. So
Dude, I got one. Well, we got two now. And running a show, dude, that's why I had to retire almost completely from wrestling. And my brother now fully runs the wrestling company himself because it was too much. It was 24 hours a day. You had to think, eat, sleep, and drink a whole promotion all the time. And how am I going to get these people in? I got to do that. I got to get insurance. And then, dude, even with the rings, I got a small ring, so, like some stuff I do when I do the wrestling cons and stuff like that, I bring a ring, and it's a 10 by 10. And you can come get in the ring. You can be in a real wrestling ring, get your picture made in a real wrestling ring, even though it's tiny.
mhm.
But like I was sitting there, and you can get your picture made with me in the thing, and let kids like fucking climb on it and shit. And they almost like get fucking hack in a box like a birthday clown. Fucking, you got extra G. Fucking Timmy's turning 11. We can fucking have Hack out here to fight somebody. Have him fight Grandpa in the backyard. So yeah, so I got the tiny ring. I go do this event, and I forget the pads, so I don't bring the pads. Enzo Amore fucking does a move into the tiny ring and fucking kills himself. And I'm just trying to whisper to him, "Sorry, dude. Sorry. Forgot the pads." So the hardest bump ever on this tiny ring. He kills himself on it. I'm trying to fight Coco Beware in this tiny ring. We're both two tiny dudes, tiny ring. It's fucking hilarious. But now I'm at this event and I'm doing stuff with me and like Sam Houston or like trying to promote something. And then I'm talking to the boogeyman over here, and it's like a who's who. And then at the end of the night, I realized the guy I used to haul the ring there is now gone. And I'm trying to call him, he won't answer the phone, and then he finally gets back and he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I had a big emergency at home with my wife. I had to go." And I'm like, "Oh, shit, take care of her. It's fine." And then I realized I'm fucking 5 towns over from home with a ring inside of this fucking hotel ballroom that I have nobody there to help me tear it down. I have nobody there to help me load it. I have no way to get it out of the fucking building so they can close and lock the doors and get home. And I'm like, holy shit. And then that took an all night. Jake Perry, the owner of Slash and Chill, had to come with his truck and come to this event. And he's like, "Tony, what the fuck is going on?" I'm like, "Thanks for showing up, buddy. We had an event. And now I'm stuck here with the wrestling ring and no way to get home." So, like, call somebody who's not even into wrestling to come help save me. And then, yeah, dude, it becomes, she's so right. You got everything on your plate.
Yep.
That's a huge, that's the fucking biggest stake you can put on it, dude, is running a promotion.
Yeah.
If you ran one, it'd probably be like dope as fuck, dude. Like it probably has some of the best stories,
Oh
the
yeah.
best angles. You'd have like the most creative matches. Like I would love to see your card
Dude,
if you
dude,
book one.
I wrote an angle for a dude I knew because he was a jobber. Always going to be a jobber. I was like, dude, I want to run an angle where you are winning. You've got the 1, 2, he goes up to do 3, you get clocked in the head
Yeah,
by his tag time. Your brain, you won the title because you remember him hitting for 3, you're out cold. So you start carrying this title around. That's I had dug through it. I found like one of Vince's old fucking WWF fucking title belts and shit, or one, and I was like, you start carrying this, and you start going on a winning streak, and people start going, what the fuck? So I want that belt. So
yeah,
people start actually feuding over this shit belt that he, in his crazy mind, because he took that hit, that he believes he's the champ. And so people now want to face him, but he's winning. He got on a winning streak. So I wanted to have him go all the way to the end, actually face the guy that he was supposed to be, title versus title, and then have him get clocked and knocked out again, and he loses 1, 2, 3. And then he comes to and he still remembers, he thinks it's the original match. He doesn't know that that time has gone by. And I had wrote this whole thing. He loved it. But the guys were like, we can't do that. We don't have enough, we'd have to have build time. We'd have to bring the champ, have him, feud with him for a while. And I'm like, no, you don't have him feuded with him at all. You just have him
yeah.
do his own matches, keep going, whatever. And you have him think that he is the champ. And then have people start getting jealous, going, why the hell does this guy get a belt? Why the hell the game didn't shit? And so they start and he beats them. And so it just kept going. So this jobber would go from being a jobber all the way up to enhancement talent, go all the way from there to being somebody, and I'd put him over. And then, because then people, I think that people would
Dude,
really get behind him. And I think that they would naturally
are
get,
you gonna use that?
nah, you can use it. Have at it.
That's mine. Everybody heard him
Yeah.
say I could
Yep.
use it.
I'm giving
Fuck
Hack
you guys.
100% permission to use that time. So
I'm
just
gonna use it
yeah.
because that's a fucking great angle.
Yeah. And I had written the whole thing. I also had one where I talked to Aaron Williams because he was trying to find a gimmick one time, and this is a long fucking time ago. I was like, man, you need to be the silent warrior, because he was always the Cincinnati Shogun. He was like, he did a lot of
Yeah.
like martial arts. It's like, just stop talking. don't say fuck him. Have somebody come out as your sensei or your master, and fucking you just go over and you just sit down, you wear a hood, and you just wait like disciplined. You go down on your knees like you're waiting in your stance, and then as soon as that ring bell hits, you up and you just tear into him, and you show him the way of the warrior and shit like that. And I was like, you be the samurai, and I was like, yeah, you just because I wanted to have like his shogun come out, the samurai, his master would be the guy who'd come out, and he was his mouthpiece, and just have that whole gimmick thing.
Dude, that's good.
And yeah, it was one of the ones I pitched it to the guys that ran and they're like, oh, that's great. But then, he's also wrestling in other places. So it would be hard to make sure that character was, because that character would be completely different on a Saturday night. And then he'd go the next Friday night and be that stoic, silent guy.
Yes.
And I was like, I get it. I get it. If he was only wrestling in one organization, we could have totally done it. But
You
when you're
can.
wrestling in multiple ones, because you'd also have to take your mouthpiece with you. You'd have to make sure that your guy, because but then if he was the fucking tag champs in another organization, it wouldn't fucking work. But if you could have done it in the one, I think it would have been great. So,
We'll see. That's the one good thing about here locally
mhm.
is that the promoters, none of them get along. None of them like each other.
No,
That's
it's
anywhere.
yeah.
Wrestling promoters hate the other wrestling promoter.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know why. It's just a thing. We don't get along, but we will have enough to talk to each other for just that type of situation you're talking about. We communicate like, hey, I got Terry doing this fucking thing over here. You mind like if you use him, don't make him look like shit, please. I'm trying to get this done. Can you do me a solid and like book him to go over or let him like kind of keep this gimmick going? And we work with each other sometimes because here you get the same fans go to all the shows
Yep.
and we're wrestling hubs, so we have like TPW, but
Yeah.
then like as you're going towards Middle Tennessee, we got USWA, we got we got Mid South, we got all these big places that are super close together,
Hmm.
so they use a lot of the same talent. You in 1 week you'll see one guy be on fucking 12 shows, and these 12 shows are within driving distance of each other.
Hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
we got to kind of do that because we get the same fans going. And the same thing, they see the one like they're like, "Oh, yesterday you were fucking goofball, high five and eating cotton candy. Now you're supposed to be this tough badass guy
Hmm.
like the next night."
Well, we had that issue here because yeah, they were far enough apart, but the problem was in one promotion they're tag champs, in
Yeah.
another promotion they're feuding,
Yes.
and yeah, they're an hour and 20 minutes away or whatever, but some crossover, and now the internet people know that they're like, hey, why is he feuding with his tag partner up here, but he's they're best friends over here,
Dude.
or he's got a different tag partner over here, and
Yes. Dude, you can't keep kayfabe now in
no.
this internet world. You just can't. And I was always really good at being on the microphone and keeping kayfabe. And my secret was, I kept the same thing everywhere I went for like the movies or like the TV show. That's why my wrestling gimmick, the horns, you see it in some of the old episodes. Like Hack's got devil horns on. Maybe he's trying a new gimmick. Where did that go? No, it was my wrestling gimmick at the time. Like wherever I was going,
Yeah.
I would keep it up. If I went to this show or that show, I would tell them, be like, "Hey, I'm a heel right now, or I'm a baby face right now. I can't play this part for you tonight." I would just tell them, "Fuck you, I can't do it." Okay, well, you got a job out to Bob at the beginning of the thing. Okay, I can do that. Not a problem.
Yep.
Because the hack gimmick was the jobber.
Hmm.
I still wear the jobber shorts, and I still do it like I was this cookie cutter, good guy, job guy. And I got to the place that wanted to get to that nobody else could get to. And I kept that shit going, man. And that's the thing. Like, even as the evil hat goes, like, I'm still the jobber. I'm still this evil job, and that's what I rub it into people. I'm like, yeah, I made it, and you didn't. Suck it. Like, because I shouldn't be there, but somehow I got there. And of course, I'm tiny, so when Awesome Kong throws you through a fucking ceiling, everybody's like, "Oh, great match out there." And I'm like, "Whatever." I was a crash test dummy for a fucking monster.
You talk about that. It is funny realizing how small some of these guys are because they're like, coming in, blah blah blah, 5 foot 10, 225, and I'm like,
What?
dude, you're shorter than me. I'm only 5'9". And I'm like,
Yeah. Dude, well, legit fucking monsters, like dudes that are legit 7 foot tall. And I think that's what kept me humble, like through the other shit. Like I never thought of myself as a celebrity
mhm,
or nothing like that. And I don't get pissed in competitions. Like my show, I'm like, my show's better than your show. I don't ever do that shit because my show's completely different than anybody else's that I watch.
yep.
And normally I'm a fan of all these people. I'm like, I kind of watch your show. Like they're like, I hate your show, it's garbage. And I'm like, well, I was gonna say I really like yours. but
Oh yeah.
the thing was, man, it was like I go out there and I can't be like I can think I'm all this and all that. And I think, oh man, I'm the fucking man. And then Necro Butcher knocks your fucking head off with a chair and you can't remember who the fuck you are. And it's like, I need to check myself because that dude can fuck me up whenever he feels like
Oh yeah.
it.
I've told a professional wrestler. Well, I won't say his name, but I was like, man, because he spit on a couple people, and I'm like, dude, you spit on me, I'm gonna throw
Oh,
down. And I was like, I don't care if you beat my ass, I am going down swinging. I was like, you do
I'm
not
gonna kill
spit
you,
on me.
dude.
I- ugh. And fucking, and that was when I was in decent shape, man. I was like, at that point, I was like 240, out of shape, get winded walking uphill. Now I'm like I fluctuate between 165, 170, and fuck, I can get on a fucking elliptical forever. I don't get gassed out or nothing. Fuck, go forever. And it's funny because I've legit like gorilla pressed people over my head now, and I'm just like get them up on my shoulder and like, "Ugh," and I get them up, and I'm like, yeah, there you go.
No, dude, you can see it in the forearms. You can see it in the forearms.
Yeah. The other thing is that I'm legit. I went and I did a show on Monday and I looked down and I'm like, fuck, I need to start buying actual clothes that fit me. Because man, I have that GCW t-shirt. It's an extra large, like this one is, and it looks like a tent. It's fucking huge. But the problem is I don't know how it's gonna fit, so I just buy extra larges. 'Cause like I said, this one
Yes,
fits fine. That one fits like a goddamn tent. So
dude. I'm doing the opposite. Ever since I've been getting out of the ring and doing more just of the appearance shit,
mm,
dude, I'm getting so out of shape. I can't even fucking. I'm having the opposite. All the extra large is starting to get tight on me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting fucking bigger. And then I'm like, wait a second, I'm getting rounder. Like what?
around.
Dude, it's the gummies. It's the gummies. It's the late night.
No,
Uh,
I don't eat after 10 o'clock at night.
that's what I got to stop doing.
I had to because I realized I don't go to bed till about 2. So it gives me about 4 hours for my metabolism to metabolize everything I've eaten. Usually I don't eat after I eat dinner and then I'm done. But like the other night, me and my son went to the movie, so I ate fucking popcorn until fucking 9:50. And,
Oh shit!
and well, it was bad. We went and seen Dune 2, and that shit's almost 3 hours.
Oh, dude, how was it? How was it?
It was
Good.
great. It was
Nice.
phenomenal. And I'm without spoiling anything. I know the first one pissed people off because it ends because it's only half the book. Uh,
Yes.
I will tell people this goes directly into the next book. It ends going
Nice.
directly into the next book. So it'll probably piss people off because like, oh fuck, it didn't end. I'm like, that's because there's another book. There's a shit ton of books. You know, we got what Children of the Dune, Dune Messiah,
Yeah,
God Emperor Dune, and then Chapter House Dune, and then you get into the other shit. But yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of fuck going on between point A and point B. So I mean, it
yeah.
doesn't end. So, but holy shit, yeah. But no, they brought back free refills. So we got a bucket of popcorn, and we ate a bunch of it, and then they're like, "Well, the concession stand closes at 8." And I'm like, "Fuck!" So we ate down about that much in a bucket. And I ran back out there and topped it off, and then I came back in and we continued to eat popcorn.
Fucking A.
So, and then I'm like, "Oh, why did I fucking eat so much goddamn popcorn?" So it just that's another thing is my diet's changed. I'm not hungry all the time, so I don't.
Dude, I gotta work on the diet. The
Mhm.
diet for me has gone to shit. I have let myself fucking go all to hell on the diet thing. Like since the duration of the show, I probably drank 2 fucking sodas, and that's nothing but a liquid fucking candy bar.
See,
Like I gotta cut that shit up.
I don't drink almost anything with calories. So everything I drink is iced tea. It's a mix of oolong tea and green tea because I use the green tea to sweeten the oolong tea.
Yeah,
And then if you see me drinking an energy drink, those are 0 calorie energy drinks and sugar free. So that's the only thing I drink, that and water. So I
I
took
love the water.
and you don't realize how many fucking calories you take in doing that shit. My problem is that I've got bread way down. I get up in the morning, I eat oatmeal with a little bit of dry cereal in it to give it flavor and a little taste. I eat a wrap at lunch, and then I eat dinner, and then I might have a little something sweet after dinner, and then I'm good till I go to bed at 2. So
Nice, dude. You're looking great. I gotta get back on it. I'm getting
yeah.
fucking chubby. I am, dude. I'm getting fucking huge.
Well, I saw a picture of me from a few years ago, and it's me and Jerry Lynn, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? I was like, God damn, I was all bloated up. I'm probably in that picture, I'm probably closing in on close to 250. And when I started going to the gym, and then I leveled out at like 220 for a while. Then I didn't weigh myself for the longest time, and then I was 180, and then I didn't weigh myself again for the longest time, and I was like at 163. And I'm like, holy
Nice.
shit. And so I fluctuate between like 165 and 170. So I fluctuate 5 pounds here and there. But, you know, every once in a while, I fucking eat a big bunch of food, but
Yeah,
I don't eat a bunch of food most days. So,
dude. I stayed at 175 my entire life. I was fucking 5'8" and I weighed 175 pounds. I can put that on any billing because I knew I could hop on a scale and it'd tell me right away.
mhm.
Then I met my beautiful wife, and she's like, "What have you eaten today?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was busy, so I haven't really thought." She's like, "Have you eaten today?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." Like, nope. And I would be so wrapped up trying to get stuff done. I would go 2 days not eating, smoking cigarettes, and just going full steam. And I would be like, I had a can of tuna this morning, and I had a couple of Red Bulls. So like, all you've had is a can of tuna and Red Bulls, and I'm like, yeah, and about half a pack of cigarettes. So I'm good. Like I got that's the whole food got pyramid, right? She started feeding me, and then my weight kind of stayed the same. I was eating better. I was eating healthier because she got me on a way better diet.
Mhm.
And then here recently, in the past few months, I got hurt. I had some other stuff going on, so I was leaving wrestling. Not I wasn't going to be in wrestling on a full time basis anymore
Mhm.
because it was getting too much. It was like trying to run the promotion, wrestle, and do the show, and keep up with. Okay, Roku's changing their policies. Got to stay up that TV station. Okay, we got to go to this streaming blah blah blah. Who's filming this? And then like work, and then I always like being a father and a husband. I always did that first.
Mhm.
So like making all the time for my family, and then doing all the weird shit that I do, and it was just too much, and I was getting overwhelmed. And then more of the TV stuff started picking up, and now I'm working behind the scenes more than ever. Like there's a ton of movies coming out that I got to really work on. There's a ton of movies you'll see my name in the credits, and you're like, Hack wasn't in this movie, but read the credits, and you're like, that motherfucker was still. How was he a part of this one too?
Yep.
I'm the art department. Like I made all the props for the movie. Or it's like, well, that dude's head got cut off and you see it rolling down the hill. Well, normally it's they call me and I get the thing together and I make the body and then I film it myself, the head rolling down the fucking hill that I made, and then send it off into the world. And next thing you know, it's in a movie scene somewhere. But like I had to just cut it out and I quit the wrestling. So I wasn't really thinking about my appearance
Hmm.
because I was just like I always kept it up. I was always working out, always moving, so I wasn't thinking about what I was fucking looking like. And then the jacket is my whole gimmick. And I remember when I first got it, I was like, "Oh fuck, they sent the wrong size," and it was too big. It was too big. Now I'm putting it on. I'm like, "Oh god, dude, I don't know if I can zip it now." Like I got this Leatherface shirt on, and oh, well, I'd show you the rest, but my titties would fall out, dude. Like I gotta, like I do, I gotta get the diet under control. I got so many fucking movies working on, especially behind the scenes, trying to keep Knoxville community media on the air. A lot of people might be freaking out because they don't see the Hacks Horror Show app on the Roku right now, and it's because I took it off, and now you can see me at 2 o'clock in the morning on the KCM app on Roku, just because I want people to see more of what we're doing here in Knoxville. Um, Working on all that shit, traveling around the convention, still doing all that, man, just not getting beat up as much, but getting the diet back under control. Where there's more nights where I felt cozy and I wasn't beat all to shit. So I was like, "Oh, I don't feel like eating anything. Fucking head hurts and I got stitches hanging out my arm. I just want to lay here." Now I'm like, "Is that a Yoo-hoo candy bar?" Like, fuck. No, and I wasn't thinking that people were still gonna fucking see me, and, now I'm at the conventions, I'm like, "I'm looking like a bloated fucking bastard over here." And I already still got the limp and all the shit, all the injuries from wrestling, so now it's like fat and limp, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, it's like the fucking horde host version of the wrestler, like like Mickey Rourke walking around this bitch." Like
Oh yeah. Well, mine was I went from being really active to just running my shop full time, and when I stopped doing that, I I got lazy because I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to kill myself at work. And I
Yeah,
went from I weighed like 175 or so when I left working a regular job to at a point closing in on 250 pounds because I didn't do nothing. Just sit on
yes,
my ass all day, fucked around on the computer, price shit, put stuff away. I wasn't lifting. I wasn't. And what got me was one day Vince was little and he took off running and I couldn't catch him. And I was
uh-oh.
fucking blown up. I couldn't breathe. And then Tina looks at me. She goes, "Well, I'm getting a membership out at Planet Fitness. Do you want to get one?" I was like, "Nah." And then I got it and I fucking loved it. And I started doing that. I started working out. And then one day I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to trim some more stuff out. I want to cut back on bread and carbs. And man, when I cut down on the carbs and the bread, it's like fell off. And
Dude, the
now
bread.
I'm like, I joke around like we talked. I was like, man, I was like, I sent my wife a picture because I was so proud of myself, man.
Yeah.
Gym picture, man. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there. I got my arm up, man. I could fuck my bicep, my chest is all like my ripped. I got my abs and everything, and I was like, yeah. And then of course I got sick, and I got injured, and I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, and I'm like, I have people who I haven't seen since high school like walk up to me and they're like, "Damn, Paul, did you age?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"No." And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You still don't look that different from high school." I'm like, "I got gray hair now, and I got less hair up
Yeah.
here." I was like, they're like, "If you didn't have the gray hair, you could look like you just fucking graduated." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, cool, I guess." I was like,
Dude,
so
dude, that's the thing. That's why I gotta keep it all shaved off. People see me when I let it start to grow, and it's just red and gray, man.
no, it was
That it.
mostly gray. And see, what's really funny is now it's turned gray because there for the longest time, just this, I had one gray streak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's now just one big gray streak down the middle. I keep telling everybody I'm going to turn into the villain from a D&D adventure. So I'm gonna be a bald guy with a big long beard, get a
Get
robe.
it up. Yeah, you gotta get the beard on the god level, man.
Yeah.
You do, dude. You look like fucking you look like fucking Masada. That's what
Oh,
you look like. You look
dude,
like
this is what's hilarious. And you said this. What years ago I used to do anime conventions, and I had these little Japanese kids wanting to take pictures of me, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'd pose and take pictures with these kids and whatever. And after a few years, I'm like, why the fuck do kids want pictures with me? Okay, I'm a little, I'm the white guy, beard, and I was always wearing a leather jacket. And so I'm like, finally, I was like at a convention. This kid asked, I'm like, can I ask you why you want your picture taken with me? He goes, you wrestler. And I'm like, no. He goes, you're Masada, right? And
yeah.
I'm like, no. And at the time, I didn't know who Masada was. Skip years later, I meet Masada at an indie show. Me and him were sitting there bullshitting. And I was like, dude, I had people think that me and you were, and he goes, I mean, the only thing we had was the beard and, the hair with the jacket. And because other than that, we don't really look that much alike. And so finally I'm like, look, he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, dude, they all think we look alike.
Yeah.
They think in Japan, they think all white people look alike. He goes, so we look close enough that we're the same guy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm 5'9", Masada's like 6'2".
Yeah.
And he weighs like 230. And at the time, I was probably about that, maybe not that much. I was probably like 180 at the time. But yeah, and we're just sitting there laughing about it. He goes, Dad, don't worry about it. He goes, they think all white people. So we have an ongoing joke that I'm big in Japan.
Yeah.
And so I legit wrote a movie script called Paul's Big in Japan. And it was one of them weird misadventures, because you know how the misidentification misadventure movies, they don't really make them anymore. But that's the
Yes.
whole gimmick, was that I go over to Japan for for like my birthday,
And
and I
everybody
get
thinks you're
mistaken
Masada.
identity, and it's all this weird shit that happens from point A to point B, and it literally starts with me laying in a ring, because I wrote it so that I was at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm laying in the ring, and you just see a guy jumping off the top rope, and it goes, "You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, let me tell you." And
I want to
then he
watch
goes
this
back,
fucking movie.
yeah, and then it goes back, and then I'm in a car chase, and I go a little bit further than this, and then it goes back further. But it's the whole gimmick was a joke on that Japanese kids thought I was somebody else, and it just sort of snowballed that I actually legit wrote a script. There's the Yakuza's in it. There's wrestlers. It's at Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome. There's monkeys. There's just all this shit that I put into this
It was
crazy.
like a fucking fantastic movie.
Oh, and the thing is, I'd have to dig for it, but I did. I wrote this entire movie, and it's just me in Japan. And there's a scene that I wrote where I'm on a cell phone talking to my wife, and she's walking around. And if you watch the TV behind her, it was going to be a police chase through Japan, through Tokyo. And she's on the phone talking to me, and I'm on the phone talking. And if you look, I'm the guy driving the car that's in the police chase, and all this shit going on in Japan. And it was just this crazy. Everything was over the top. Everything was just that whole miscommunication, misidentification, mistaken identity that they don't really do anymore. I mean, we had like movies like The Man with One Red Shoe, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They don't have those anymore, and I wanted to bring it back, and I thought that would be hilarious because it actually kind of happened. So it was going to be Paul's Big in Japan, a semi-true story. And
Yes.
it was
Semi
because
true story.
because it starts out that actually happened, but everything after that point is bullshit.
Dude, that's the movie. You're
Yeah.
you're there. They think you're Masada
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and you're like, I don't even know why they like me. And then it pops up like, dude, you fucking the radio's playing. You fucking win tickets on the radio station. You're going to Japan, be like, this is the perfect birthday present ever.
Yeah. and it
And
was
while you're there, the entire nation of Japan mistakes you for Masada.
well, I didn't name Masada. It was just I was mistaken for a Japanese, like an American wrestler in Japan. And
Yes.
that's how I end up at the Tokyo Dome. That's how I end up because I'm like out and they're like, you're late, you're late. And they run me into the building and I run out. I'm like, I go through Gorilla and I'm like, oh, and where the am I? And then they force me to the ring and I end up in the match and the whole just insane. Well, the thing was when I wrote it, a lot of people were still in New Japan and now they're not New Japan, so now that wouldn't really work. But I could still totally play it with other wrestlers. But yeah, but the whole gimmick was just from that moment of me being big in Japan, and it's sort of and there's a great picture because there's a picture of me with Godzilla hat, and there's a dude in a full Godzilla costume. And I'm standing next to him. We're like back to back like this, and it says I put Paul's big in Japan because I'm next to Godzilla.
Dude, it's the best movie I've ever fucking heard.
We like I said, we I've had a blast, and like I said, it comes from the fact that that was actual mistaken identity, and it just was a gimmick through the whole entire thing. And I wrote a script as me in Japan doing what I would do in Japan, and but yeah, and it was I still like I said I still got to have to dig, but I have it somewhere.
We
So
might need to make this.
I'd love to make it.
We we have a lot of shit that we could do this.
I don't know how we would do Japan in America because Japan looks so different than America, but yeah,
Green screen.
green screen.
Green screen.
Well, it's funny because me and my son always do like little like we did a short story called 100 Acre Woods, and this is before Winnie the Pooh went into public domain and before Blood and Honey and stuff like that. And we wrote a story about it's called 100 Acre Woods, and it says Christopher Robin's first mistake was trusting that bear.
Dude, you wrote Blood and Honey.
And it was this whole thing about but no, we wrote all that way back. God, Brandon and Joe were so closing on like 10 years ago. We wrote that and fucking had a blast. And I don't even know. That was probably lost. That's probably gone because that was like 3 moves ago. So that's definitely probably thrown away.
Yeah, and then you see Blood and Honey coming out, and you look
Oh yeah, I
over
was
at the
like,
kids, and it's like,
yeah.
fuck,
And
that was ours.
we did I did one where my buddy Hawk, the one I do talk and roll with, he jokes around. He goes, "I'm what Kevin Smith would have done if Clerks would have never been successful." So I was going to do a whole entire show based on me at the comic shop. So it was going to be the weird people that come in, my actual friends who are different people. And but the whole entire thing is I was going to have 2 puppets, and they were going to like talk to me. They were going to be my like imaginary friends. So the whole entire time was just these 2 puppets that come up behind me, kind of going, "What's going on?" And I'm like, and it's like just me slowly going crazy at a regular job and shit. And
Dude, now that we should fucking make.
yeah, because
That we should fucking make.
I was supposed to have somebody make two puppets for me, and I kind of fell through. I don't know what happened to it, but one was going to look like Skeletor from He-Man, and the other one was going to be a Night Gaunt from fucking H.P. Lovecraft, and they were just going to be and I don't know if I could get away with the Skeletor looking thing at all, but I was going to do it different colors, but still have the meow voice,
Yeah. You're starting to lose it, Paul. And he just
what the fuck was that? Seriously, I mean, really? I love how I'm doing the puppet right now. I know you have puppet. There's not. No, it's upstairs. I was gonna say I can't. There's a puppet around here somewhere.
So we got to. Well, we got to make this show. We got to make this show. You got to let me voice one of the puppets.
Oh, I totally would do the voice.
Don't fucking tell nobody. Just on the credits. Just credit the puppet as just put Hack beside it.
Puppet number 2.
Yes. Be like, dude, I got that, dude. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many of these horror movies that come out, and it's like assistant fucking lighting guy. number 4, and it's like Tony Hack Covington, and people mention it, and they're like, "Were you the lighting guy on this movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, that's like people like, did I see you in a movie? I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
And they're like, I was like, because I'm in a couple that you can see me in, and then one never got finished, and then I just did. I was just an extra in another movie that the trailer just dropped. And the funny part about it is, I was watching the trailer, and you see it, and I'm like, see that woman right there? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, I am right next to her. So where the TV
Yes.
cuts off, that's me right here. Like that's my shoulder. And I'm like pointing at it.
Dude, most of the time I only get to be Hack in movies. Like, it's like I'm Hack, I come in, I do the cameo. Sometimes I get to play stuff different, like, I'm really excited. Like, one movie was hard for me to get through, it's called Crack-Coon. The
Hey,
trailer's out right now and everything of
hey,
Crack-Coon.
hey, I'm a producer on that movie.
You are? Well, wait till you see the cook, you're gonna be like, "That son of a bitch."
I got a DVD coming to that sooner or later.
Wait till you go to watch and wait till you see who's making the fucking drugs.
Yeah, yeah. I was a. I'm a. It's funny because
So
if you
your
go to
money's in the right
IMDb,
place, brother.
huh?
They got Hack in there as the fucking meth cook, so you know it's gonna be an Oscar-winning performance.
What's funny is that I found out I have three IMDb pages. I have
Oh
my one
shit!
that I've acted on. I have executive producer credits where I'm on another one, and then I have special thanks credits. I'm on another one.
Yeah,
And the only one I don't have is anything for any of my like Sci Fridays or Saturday morning serials or any of that shit. I don't have any credits for those. Because for one is I've tried to put them in and then it goes, you're not a member of IMDb. You can't add. I'm like,
yeah. And they
so
want like $30 a month, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
yeah,
Like, I'm not paying you
how
30
much is that?
bucks.
So
Like, I know I did all this shit.
yeah. So and
I've
then
been
I'm
on
gonna be
mine.
and then Bunker Hill, I think is the next movie I'm in as an extra. So that's the one that
uh,
the credits just dropped or the trailer
dude,
dropped.
dude, Debbie Does Demons. I get to work with Donald Farmer, which
Yeah.
I
Debbie Does Demons
love.
was the one that I watched with you in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
see,
Donald sent me the screener for it.
dude, that movie right there. I'm doing that movie, and if you look, I'm credited as Tony Hack Covington as Hack,
Yeah.
but she calls me fucking Steve. He
Yeah.
calls me, and dude, if you watch that, did it look okay? Because
Mhm.
I cannot remember none of the fucking lines.
Well,
So Donald is standing beside me, piss pouring fucking sweat. The whole time we're filming, and he's sitting there beside me, and he'd say my line, and then I would sit there and say the line while the camera's still rolling, and then he'd say the next line, then I'd say the next one. I was just mimicking and repeating everything he fucking said. And he's such a director, dude. Like I made a sound in there, and he's like, "You said it like, huh," and I need you to say it more like, huh. And I'm like, "What?" Like he was so meticulous. He's
huh.
like, and in my country accent, the Carmela core line, that's really hard for you. I can't. I'm fucking from Tennessee, dude. I can't say that one time slow, let alone 5 times in a row quickly. So I'm like, kettle corn, and it's like, no, what? Heck, what's wrong with you? And I'm
Was
like,
it
what's her name, Debbie Coraline? And it's like,
was it
no, it just goes
Con
off the
Stark or
rails.
something like that? It's yeah. But what's funny is that another friend of mine, she's in that. And we were sitting talking because I was like, "Hey, Don," I was like, there's a continuity error in that movie, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We noticed after it was already done and done because there's a continuity where she goes back and she doesn't refer to like she has never seen something before when she had just seen it in like two scenes before."